and gentlemen, welcome to US Drift Circuit. We're about to go live here. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. This is the first round of US Drift Circuit. All right, we're getting our drivers situated. Welcome to US Drift Circuit Round 1 in Leadfoot City. And my goodness, thank you Redline Synthetic Oil for being our title sponsor here, as well as Auto Sports Engineering, Drift HQ, Kenda Tires, BC Racing, and some new and improved sponsors. Kansei has also been on board for sponsorship-wise, as well as Op7 is a new sponsor, and Wisefab. I am super excited here. Red light.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win, pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
Op7.
Op7.
Op7. Op7.
that guy.
Well, the biggest thing I think I've noticed is that right here at turn 3, like it's where the cars love just putting that power. I'm a limiter guy, and just watching the instant smoke coming around. I mean, the pavement here is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, your tire wear is definitely gonna be a lot more better, you know, than other tracks. So
Yeah, this track is great on tires, but I will tell you it is grippy as could be from the driver's standpoint. A lot of drivers having issues with it. You know, and they're just trying to figure out how to float the cars. You know, it's one of those spots where I wish I had my 350Z out here and would just show low power car.
I could buy you one.
But you know, it's going to be a ton of fun. And honestly, I feel for the drivers. With we're doing a 1-day event. We're used to normally 2-day events, so we get a lot of practice time in for track conditions, especially going from Sebring, which is you're trying to find grip, you know, more so, and then this is all grip. So, but not a lot of tire wear, which is nice.
Yeah. All right.
That's a tire shredder. That's a tire shredder of an oval. That is a rough place to be, but you get some great wall rides. Here, you're talking about on that reason being coming in from this very fast entry, quick, almost a shutdown for your first transition out of this turn here. Coming into here, it is a big stretch, and then you've got a large stretch coming right after it. It's the most uninterrupted set, and then it leads into the fastest decel zone we have, which only leads into a Connex box in, you know, Mexico out there. So they're just going to go intercontinental, you know, and go flying around into some tires if they don't slow down.
You know, I think that's great. You know, it's very motivating. You know, when you see, and I think that's the one thing about being a pro-am driver. You know, as a grassroots driver, you know, I love like when you show a lot of expectation. You know, a lot of tire smoke. But seeing these guys, like you said, you know, normally you guys do 2 days, doing a 1-day. That's a level of adaptability that you need as a driver. You know, and sometimes the cards are not in your favor, but you have to make it work, and that's what makes it more sweet when you see these drivers just power through it.
Yeah.
And then eventually maybe they even, you know, podium.
Yep.
You know.
And we have a couple of drivers here that are already in Prospect. We have, well, former champion Louis Lance. We have last year's champion Ryan Hoffman.
And Colette Davis.
And Colette Davis. And she's been shredding with that BMW. She actually, last year, after round 1, she switched from the Corvette to the BMW.
Yes.
And it was just a change. When I saw her in OSW, it was insane. We got the guys in the burnout pit getting ready. You see Justin Eland with that bucked up energy, BMW.
Which I got some info on.
Oh, yeah?
You know, Dustin, the pit reporter. He was down. He was actually scrambling around looking for a laptop.
Yep.
Wasn't able to get into boost. Was having some issues. Well, hopefully he got it figured out. Obviously, he's going to cross the line and get through his seating bracket here, so he can try to retune it, figure out what's going on. But his competitor, from what I understand, is one of the very few cars that's been consistently hitting the zones. So it's kind of an interesting battle if we've got a car that's put back together, Mr. Bucked Up, Mr. Energy Drink Sponsor, versus our friend, I can't see the bracket right now.
Tyler Hess.
It is? Tyler? Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, the screens here that we're looking at are pure flat and black with my sunglasses on. And I got the lightest of baby blues, and so they don't work great without these sunglasses.
All right, we got our guys lined up. And you see Justin Eland out there. He is going to be in the lead, and Tyler Hess is going to be in the chase.
This is going to be the very first, because they, Leadfoot City never had Pro-Am before, so this is going to be the very first.
Yes. And it's the first of the season, as well as this is a seeding bracket. There's going to be another bracket afterwards. There's going to be a big competition here that we're going to get these guys excited. But we're getting some word from the crew real quick. But they're calling a 5-minute timeout. It looks like Justin Eland is calling a 5.
So exactly what I was saying. He's probably not getting into his boost. He's not feeling comfortable. He doesn't want to blow up his motor, whatever it is. He doesn't want to lean it out. I'm not exactly sure what the real issue is now, because it looked like it was doing better than it was.
Yeah. Oh, man, I saw him struggling.
Pulling a competition 5 out and seeding is, I believe, takes his competition in the series, correct? For this round.
They would. They actually have 2 separate 5-minute. One in seeding, one in the top 32 main bracket, and that's something that some people, it's actually an advantage for them.
Really?
Yeah. If you think of it this way, you could work on your car twice in competition compared to people that already are in the main bracket. They only have 1 shot. If something happens, and
Wow, that's using your brain right there.
yeah, a little bit of a noggin, got some brain cells.
Kind of. Calling a 5, though, is going to give him even more than technically. It doesn't give him more than 5 minutes, but if he doesn't touch the car and he wants to wait for something to arrive, he could technically. It depends on what the crew and stuff.
Yeah.
But once the team's there, it gets complicated. But we got to have the show move on. So Jackson's over there trying to either get him towed out if he needs a tow, or we're trying to find out if he can go. I'm getting a thumbs up, though, from our line thing. Oh, yeah. Telling him he can go, and the bucked up car is stationary.
Okay, so the next battle after that is going to be Wellington da Silva versus Andres Messner. All right, Andres Messner is in that Infinity that you saw on track. He actually the on point. He's been shredding tires, especially at Fuel Fest. I love watching him drive. Great attitude behind him. Wellington da Silva, I think it's probably the first or second time
I'm not trying to cut you off, but Chris Jackson's my favorite driver, just flooring it in reverse in the diesel truck. Normal stuff. He actually helped write a paragraph of OSHA that said, if I'm doing it, it's okay. So it's perfectly fine.
That was after OSW when he was being a manual squeegee with his truck, right? I don't know if you've seen that video, but
that's a video that should have gone viral.
That should have gone viral. We got swamped with rain at OSW. How OSW is just like a pool.
Yeah.
Chris Jackson ties a jersey barrier to the back of his pickup truck and just hauls tails through the puddles to try to squeegee it off the track. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Did it work?
Ratchet strap.
Kind of worked.
I mean, it did better than evaporation, that's for sure.
Well, and that's another thing, too. Like, we have good weather today. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's really hot, you know. So I know a lot of drivers making sure their car is, keeping that temperature where it needs to be, And, I mean, that's the biggest battle for any driver, no matter if you're grassroots or Pro-Am, is survival is key here. And it's always humbling knowing that, regardless, you can have the craziest built car ever, but if it's not working, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, for sure. And the great thing about this year is that the season is actually spread out a little bit more. Last year it was more towards the summer and then early fall. We're actually having the final round close to October, actually later than what we normally have in November. But it's beautiful to kind of adapt. And then we have our sponsors, Drift HQ, they've been helping with the marketing as well, so we could get more people out here to enjoy it and having a good time. As you see, that Andres Messner in the On Point Infinity, and you have Wellington Da Silva. He was at Fuel Fest, and I remember that car exactly because the thing I thought about on his hood was Triple H, the WWE representative. Yeah, I kind of got excited seeing him, but he's a straight shredder with that BMW.
We took him and I were at Atlanta Film Fest. We took a picture of the Easter Bunny. Oh, we had a photo shoot with the Easter. Actually,
That's awesome.
So real quick, I just got some info just because I like to learn and I always like to ask questions. I had heard, you know, hey, your car's not running, get it across the line, get your points. You know,
Yeah.
we're at something 31 drivers or something like that, so we don't have a full 32.
Okay.
So there is a buy run or two in there, meaning that the bucked up car is, even if he can't complete his 5-minute bows out of seating bracket, he can still compete in top 32. The
Okay.
person that would have won the seating bracket round would have gotten 3 points towards everything.
Okay.
And now because of FD changing the rule to where
Yes.
you only get points where if you win a battle, that means that top 32 guys that don't win that first round of losers, they're full losers. They get nothing. They're packing home with no points.
Damn.
But the winner gets 10 points.
That's a big
So
change.
it's a big change. It's also a big change in ideology. If you know that you can't get your car across the line for any of those, it's get it out on track and push it anymore, which is better for the show, I guess.
Yes.
But at the same time, man, you drove out here and
Yeah.
your car
yeah.
didn't even hit the track.
No.
And we got our drivers set up. We're waiting for the lights. This is our first actual battle here. We have Da Silva.
Round
versus
one,
Messner.
U.S. Drift Circuit, Leadfoot. Let's see it go.
Here we go. We got Da Silva in the lead with that BMW coming in with a nice initiation, missing outer zone 1, transitioning to outer zone 2, and missing that as well. He needs to get some zones so he can get some points for these judges. There is an inner clip at the top of the keyhole, and he does correct, but barely touches outer zone 3, transitioning to outer zone 4, and it looks like Andres Messner is getting a little gap, but is it because of the shaky lead from Da Silva? We're gonna see the drone replay here. Give me what you're what you
Honestly, like that was like for a first run right there. You know, I like I said, I understand the drivers don't have as much time out there, right? But it's really I think it was great. You know, the drone shot actually is really useful.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
those little details you get to see.
Here you go. You got the drone shot there on the live stream. What are you seeing as a driver and the lead? What's the biggest struggle? What are you seeing as a spotter?
You know, like I know the Infinity's been having some issues earlier, right? And then you could tell he's trying his best to compensate, you know, and then you can see where he's hitting the line a little bit, right? And you know, he's just trying his best to make up that difference right there. You
But
know,
the difference was also created by a lead run that was shallow, getting that transition going into that first diesel zone. You've got a guy that just went from one end of the zone all the way to the other, putting the front of his car for a snap transition into that zone. It's almost unchaseable. It's not unchaseable, but like as you got to give him space now. So in this track with that grip setup and power, how are you going to chase him down?
like you guys mentioned in the drivers meeting.
Yeah.
But here we go on another round. I'll let Tiny take it away.
All right, here we go. We have Andres Messner in the lead, initiating. He is so far away from that brown azul, but now he is getting to that second outer zone, able to touch it a little bit. He needs to get that nice angle, but he corrects, and oh my goodness, the Silva falls out of line, but he needs to reel in the proximity. Andres Messner is doing a very smooth lead so far. He did have that correction on outer zone 2 going to outer zone 3, but this is where the judges are going to look into this more, see who was more at fault, what was a better lead, what was a better chase. We're going to drone replay here, and we're going to hear you guys. What do you think?
You know, right away, like you can see, like right there, right there's that huge gap difference right there, and that's one of those things. Like, as you guys know, when you kind of don't have a good start.
Look at this, how close he gets, though.
Oh, my
He is
goodness.
completely washing out on this shallow line that he's not getting gripped up and not moving forward. He is literally almost coming into him. I'm surprised. I mean, the lead car does kind of slow down, but he's trying to get his inner clip. You know, that's crazy.
Just imagine
And
from
then
the
you
driver.
see it again back over here too, coming on this transition where it's a late transition, takes an inner line, coming in, getting nowhere near the outer zone, and then just letting the car plow forward
Yeah.
and just completely not
Missing that
transition on
glass
the
line.
line. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like I'm watching somebody drive in lag. Like I'm watching a sim and they've got lag.
Well, the great thing is with Messner, he did miss Outer Zone 1. He got that get to Outer Zone 2, and yeah, he did correct, but the chase car was floating a little too far, like you were saying. This transition here, there is a decel zone on the final Outer Zone, what we were talking about in the driver's briefing. He did tire drop a little bit, but I don't know, it comes into the fact of what lead was more chaseable. For me, what I'm looking, I think Messner had a more chaseable lead compared to the Silk, but we have 3 legendary judges that are here. 2 of them been in the pro arena. One of them has been around the pro circuit as well. But we did get the announcement, and it looks like Andres Messner gets the win and moves on. All right, our next battle here is Mitchell Rohr and Sasha Ironside Prospero.
Sasha, man, what an OG, what an owner of the track. Anywhere he shows up, that is going to put on a clinic. It doesn't matter who he's going against, whether it be a seasoned professional or an amateur, he's going to make the best out of the run.
Yes.
He's been doing this a long time. I've gotten to run against him. I've gotten to see him now in pro spec here, or pro-am. What, 2-3
So you're
years
speaking
now.
from experience.
A lot of personal experience. I've driven with him. Yeah, he's great. He's freaking great. He's a good driver. Who's he going against?
He's going against Mitchell Rohr.
Mitchell, man, what an up-and-comer.
Yes,
Holy
he's
cow,
fantastic.
1 season under his belt now, coming in, absolutely flying. Very professional-looking team. Really looks like they're going to go the distance and have something in the making to where they're going to have the ability to either find the seat time to get all the talent put down on the track, or he's going to make it happen this season. Who knows?
You never know. And there's a reason why I call Sasha Prospero Ironside, because every time he gets onto someone, he'll door tap him like he's just straight iron. And then all of a sudden, when someone goes on the chase and door
touches
taps
him,
him,
he
he's
just stays still.
unfazed. He's unfazed. He's straight Ironside.
I can say it from experience. You can literally, that his car won't change angle. He feels the hit. He literally goes and looks and just somehow articulates the car to like, I'm not moving my wheel, but I'm going to change my throttle, purposely make sure the rear doesn't fall out or the front end doesn't get pushed too hard. Like, experience, seat time.
No,
Like,
I can't wait to see it.
however you built that car, I want one.
His car's really clean, you know, like, and that's another thing too with like, you know, very professional cars. Like, you want to make sure they look aesthetically pleasing, you know, and that's part of that, you know, as a pro-am driver or any other Formula D driver. And I can't wait to see what you guys are talking about, because
Yeah, he before, when I first started commentating U.S. Drift Circuit, Sasha had a plain white car, and it was Apex Automotive. We're going to get ready for the lights for these guys. But he came out last year with the gold, with the white and black, and that's one of my favorite clean liveries there. Absolute gangster of a driver.
So just so everybody knows, the Drift Car tent, Drift HQ tent here, one of our main sponsors, awesome guys over there. We have a couple drivers actually in from their team, but that is the lead car position. So we are going to be starting on the outside. We're looking at it, technically, it looks like it's on your right, but in reality, it's on your left because you're looking at it face on.
Yeah.
They are going to be the ones going out. They've got their baby kink. They've got their stuff. They can't, you know, get impeded by that chase, but honestly, in this run-up, it's almost like a drag race. You can't get impeded.
Yeah, no.
which is funny. The drag race is right here. We're actually on the drag strip. Actually.
Yeah, we're on lane 1 right now. And here we go. Sasha taking the lead coming in. Little Bobble coming out, but then locking it in, filling out that first zone. And oh my goodness, the drop-in coming in. 424 trying to make an area code of distance disappear. Coming through and absolutely filling that next zone. Sasha making it look easy. Oh, and we got a big initiation coming in, but somehow saving it and still falling into the pocket. What a great job and a save by that chase driver. HHR hiring, man, they hired the right driver.
Now I know what you guys. I mean, that was amazing. You know, like he was really solid. Right? Like he was drifting here like his whole life.
Yeah, you got Sasha Prospero coming in there, initiating, getting tire in the first outer zone, then transitioning to outer zone 2, filling that out great. Mitchell, he knows how he drives, and he's very confident. Sasha fills out that inner clip beautifully, hits that outer zone 3, and here comes Mitchell Rohr surging, and he's forward in the pocket that cuts the line. So he had to back up a little bit, but then also angle up and light off his tires so he could get that proximity as Sasha Prospero hits that finer inner clip. It was absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely, and thanks for this red line replay. Without it, you guys wouldn't even be able to get to see the energy that comes through. One time isn't enough. Seeing it in person isn't enough. I gotta watch the TV screen just to get the full experience here. Man, I feel like if there was just some AC on me, we'd be back at home.
I could get a fan. You know, I could be your AC.
There's a few fans out there. They were cheering your name earlier. You didn't see them? They were saying, "Give us brake cleaner." I don't know what that means. I have no idea. I'm confused. But, you know, we're going to skirt like Wisefab and throw some big angle into the next conversation. What are you thinking about Florida drifting so far? You've been out here for a couple times. You've done a couple events with US Drift Circuit. Are you excited to see the pro side?
Oh, you know, like I said, I'm a grassroots driver myself, you know, but seeing the professional side is so amazing. It's that next level of not just like drift cars, but prep time, mindset, and also too like a better level of adaptability, because as you guys know, like you can't really make a mistake here. You know, that could cost you your run. But I mean, also too, I'm a low horsepower guy, you know, like, so seeing all these guys, I love the entertainment.
It's okay, some of our judges are too.
I'm glad I'm not the one owning these cars, because it's a lot, you know. But no, Florida though is very hot down here, you know.
We're waiting for the lights here. There we go. We got Metro Roar in the lead. Sasha Prospero in the chase. Let's see if Ironsides gets that.
So because we're doing the start, let's go ahead and let you go ahead and try to announce this one. Go for it.
Oh, really? Okay, here we go. Right? We got solid lines of both cars right here. Oh my goodness, it is. Ooh. Okay, first clip. Oh, he hit cones. But he's going power through. They're going pretty solid right here. Oh, here goes the transition. Oh, there's another. Oh my goodness.
No! What I was just about to say is you're doing a great job, but he has been sticking to him, Sasha, applying the pressure and making the mistake happen. Just a little bit too much, over-rotating and causing that lead run to be a 0. Which is really cool. The BMW was absolutely killing it. Nothing wrong with his run. Filling those zones amazing. Yeah. But Sasha just somehow sticking with him. We did a little bit of the inside there with a bumper hit. Nothing crazy. We're looking for front tires. And, a little bit more on the inside, but wow. Red line replays on it, but right here, over-rotating and just allowing the mistake, and Sasha doing what he's supposed to do. You follow the lead driver.
Yes.
When the lead driver we trust, and if that leads you into a K-rail and 8 feet in the air, you try to laugh it off.
It was tight. You guys saw that? Like, I mean, there's nothing that he could have done, because he's already committed. You know, and I hope you guys love my grassroots interpretation.
Good,
you know,
it felt like we just hired a TikTok kid to react to the video. It was a reacts video, but you're not 16.
See, and what's really nice that I'm working with professionals here, so I could just do my own proper commentation here. You know,
whoa! Look at that graphic though. Did you see that winner graphic?
Oh, that's one of our new graphics.
I think they know who the winner's gonna be. I think I know the winner. Oh, and Sasha gets the win. Sasha Passero moving on, but what an amazing job. What's great though is we are going to get to see that car come back, the BMW. All we have is 32 drivers out here, so we are going to get to see that again, and hopefully they see themselves, maybe some redemption.
Yeah, and we got our next drivers, Marcelo Zaupa versus John the Rocket Man Temple.
Zaupa. I'm just going to announce things after you say the name the one time, because I can imitate. I feel like a parrot up here with the names. Zaupa!
And I was talking to you earlier about how that Corvette, is actually Colette Davis's previous car. And he's been shredding out there. He's been enjoying it. John Temple has been struggling with his car for the past season, and he barely made it to Fuel Fest West Palm Beach. But he is out here with new tires. The only time he had seat time on this track was today. So
really? Oh,
so he's out there. Just
he's also an OG in the area, drifting in Central Florida for years. Multiple teams brought the whole rig out here, providing nitrous and tires to those that need them for a small price, of course, like he's selling them or something weird. The Corvette, phenomenal, made it his own, put his own wrap on it, but he was so proud of that Corvette. He actually brought it to OSW round to show it off and talk about it. And it was there, and he was willing to rent it to somebody if their car was out. So, like, literally the community out here in drifting is nothing else like you'd expect from any kind of motorsport.
Absolutely, and we have Marcelo Zaupa in the lead, John the Rocket Man Temple in the chase, and here comes Marcelo. So that first out of zone transitioning to out of zone 2. John Temple is cheating the line a little bit so he can get that proximity. Marcelo Zaupa is way outside of that inner clip, but he gets the out of zone 3 and goes it out. John Temple is trusting that line. Here comes that transition to outer zone 4. Marcelo Zappa misses outer zone 4 and dives into inner clip. A beautiful mirroring from John Temple.
Oh my goodness, Temple with the charge. Throwing in the brakes so he wasn't running into Marcelo. Marcelo was either holding back power at that last what would not. But Marcelo, great initiation, a little late for my likes, but came through on a great transition. Did great. Temple right here taking that inner side to set, but then sets himself perfectly on angle, and he follows him out of zone. And we got what? Not even a full tire out. Perfectly fine. Comes on through, and Temple does what he's supposed to do as a chase car driver, imitating that transition perfectly. Doesn't matter that he's not filling the zone because he is chasing that lead driver. And this is what I would tell people, even though the lead driver isn't going where they need to, and it's not that he did a bad run, it just wasn't perfect, right? That's what a chase driver's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He followed it. He transitioned great. My advantage goes that direction, but I'm not a judge.
Me that my sweat was evaporating. Was talking with John Temple. He's actually a military veteran, a combat engineer.
Oh,
and
really?
that's why he has that desert combat tan right there. And here he comes on the dashboard. Yes, P is for plenty. Let's see if he'll breach doors going through the outer zone. Outer zone 1. Beautiful fill out from John, the Rocky Man Temple. Slaps the ankle to outer zone 2. And he's diving into the inner clip. He is sliding off those tires. Going to outer zone 3. Coming that back bumper around that wall. Here comes a big transition to outer zone 4. Blocks the angle. That S chassis is absolutely on fire.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Guys,
That
if you're
was
not
amazing.
standing up, if you're not in the crowd cheering right now, you need to cheer for that lead car driver right there. John Temple just put on a clinic on what are you supposed to do while you're on this track.
Oh my God. That was bonkers. What do you think?
You guys
about
don't, you guys can't tell, but in this box up here, everyone in here is jumping. They're excited. Like, if you see judges jumping, you're doing something right. But that's beautiful. I mean, like, look at that. He's hitting all those points, right? And super endless.
And he fills it completely. I'm over here just watching the replay because we couldn't see through the smoke, and I couldn't see that zone. I was like, oh, I don't know about the transition. God dang, boy. John Temple coming out for some points today, maybe a podium.
Man, he goes out there, he says, I'm just going to breach doors, and it looks like John Temple gets the win and moves on. Great job from J-Tune Motorsports.
Rolling through with that desert town like a storm, ready to come in and take some money off these people.
Oh, I like that.
You like that one? You can
was
steal it
fun.
later.
He still has that one door in that passenger since Field Fest. Wisefab. Yeah, that's how I knew it was his car.
That was from last year in Sebring. He actually pushed someone across the line, and he had that dent on that door.
That door is definitely good luck. I think it's proven right now.
My son goes, he actually lives right by me, and my son saw the door, and he's like, are you going to fix it? He's like, no.
A true S chassis owner.
Our next driver is going to be Paula Mota and Davey Peoples, but it looks like we're going to have our buy run from Tyler Hess.
Oh, so we're putting a buy run through. So do we have anything on the comms for why either Davey or them is not available?
Justin,
so we're going back to our first number one. So we're getting our buy run because Justin is unable to complete this. So he's going to try to work on that car. He was unable to fix the car in the 5-minute technical. So he had to pull up to the line. Are we asking him to do a buy run? Okay.
Yes, he's going to have to do a buy run. So we're going to wait for the lights to go off, and we're going to let Tyler Hess speak for himself with that BMW. That thing's been shredding at Fuel Fest and other competitions. Love the attitude he has. He's been a big sim driver ever since the Live for Speed days when I was talking to him. And
wow.
OG sim. And I started giggling when we were talking about sim-wise because I came from sim to real-life commentating.
I can't imagine you giggling, though. You don't seem like a giggler like that.
Tiny isn't Tiny in that series, but like he said, we're going to let this one speak for itself. Let's just hear his swan song real quick.
That was not a bad run for Tyler Hess.
Not a bad run. Definitely some points that are going to come from his spotter.
Yeah.
It just matters on how you set up. If you're not getting that first, if you're not initiating properly and trying to carry it over, I'm not quite sure how you're going to make this track work.
Yeah. That inner clip he missed completely. They made that inner clip for a visual reference so they could get to outer zone 3. I love how he gained his composure so he could get to outer zone 3. But a lot of these guys, we're talking about underpower. We see this initiation. He initiates early and gets gangster with it. Transition to outer zone. Say before he misses outer zone the inner
So
clip.
this inner clip too, which just getting done judges here, on this red line replay, if you are not touching that kind of seems the magic spot that you got to hit.
Yeah.
And it's turning out to be difficult to make something happen without grinding that line. It's not judged. They're not going to be losing points for not getting there, but they are going to be losing points for not filling out this third zone.
Yes.
So it's a reference point, and it's actually there because the judges are trying to be nice to these drivers.
Yes.
Because the judges care about putting on the best possible course for these drivers to show their skills.
You know, it's not an easy job, right? You know.
It's a brutal job to be a judge. I never wanted to be a judge. I love being a commentator. I love enjoying
I
the
don't know.
sport.
I think commentators is pretty brutal too, especially that one time at Field Fest. You were out there cooking. He's trying, man. I love a guy who could show a lot of good promise and attitude, positivity.
It's all about fun. I was out there having fun. These people were cooking in the sun. They aren't used to being cooked in the sun like
I was in
am.
the VIP booth watching. Guys, come on, say something. I'm just like recording you.
There we go. We got Paulo Mota. He's doing a bye-bye run right here.
SN95 go burr. I thought out here showing what straight pipes can make you do. Lose your hearing early.
What?
I got earplugs if you want to.
Did you even hear my commentating?
What?
What? Literally. So this is why muffler rules are a thing.
I don't know, with Mustangs, man, like they just really love that loud sound.
That's at 95s.
No, it's that car.
It's specifically this Mustang.
So they're going with Paulo Mota. He's been around the U.S. drift circuit scene a long time. Our next battle is
He's one of those people that says the power gets lost in the muffler. You know?
Oh,
He's
yeah, really,
like,
yeah.
What's back pressure? I don't need that.
We got our next battle, Lee Yearwood versus Salvio Silva. Salvio the Daddy Silva.
Two Florida boys.
Yeah.
Florida boys.
I love Salvio. He's so warm-hearted, great person. He's with the Drift HQ camp. You got Lee Yearwood with Happy Boy Automotive.
You know, I'm not trying to be biased,
Okay.
but there's an RV in there, you know, in that red car, you know, so.
I heard you like when those make power.
You listen. I feel like a lot of people are just jealous.
I'm gonna let Tiny see this one
Here
way.
we go. We got Lee Yearwood in the lead. And the S chassis coming in with the red S chassis going to outer zone 2, and he fills it out. Lights off the tires. Now he's trying to get to outer zone 3. Salvio Silva is following that chase. He gets to outer zone 3, locks in that angle. Here comes the transition into diesel to outer zone 4. Oh, Salvio Silva is missing that line, cheating the line to get that proximity. That's so struggle. Man.
Savio really was putting it together for a little bit there with a little bit of bobble, a little bit of stuff. Proximity was looking good, and I was really enjoying the zone 3.
Yeah.
And then something happened in the D seal. And I don't know if the front of his car just gripped up, but he was definitely trying to get up into the pocket. But he nails this third zone that's going to be coming up here. I'm actually looking a little bit ahead of you guys on stream. Sorry. Yeah, it looks great. And then this transition, he lets the car stick out, and Lee Yearwood actually slaps into that zone, while Savio is kind of like
More
floating
shallow in, yeah.
and shallow, yeah. So it just really didn't set him up to be good into that last clip. And honestly, I think it just gave the advantage over, which he's just going to make something happen here in this lead run now.
Yeah, he has to. He has to lock in right here. Salvio Silva, the smoke daddy. He's known for his grilling in the pits. He
Oh,
comes out.
you know personally?
Yes, he brings food.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't had Savio's food, you need to have Savio's food.
That's like.
I love barbecue, man.
Oh man, I didn't realize how much drifters love to barbecue until I came to Florida to commentate. I'm from Jersey, so we don't really barbecue as much up there. It's usually cold.
Just like us in Illinois. We're like brothers. We're literally brothers.
So we're out there, just run the cars and then get into our heat. But now we got our light. Salvio Silva in the lead. Lee Yearwood in the chase. And here we go. Here comes Salvio Silva in the green S chassis. And this year he goes to our first outer zone, fills it all the way out, and then he dives to outer zone 2. Beautiful fill out. Yearwood is falling behind. Savio Silva is in that inner reference point to get to outer zone 3. And all the way out, and he is making the most out of his tires, smoking out the competition, hits outer zone 4, and dives into that final inner clip.
Wow,
What a heater of a lead.
There's a lot right there.
What a heater. What's so funny is literally when you go zone to zone, you see on your entry him shallow and just rush out, or not, he just loses it. And then he tries to get in, and instead of going shallow, he's trying to chase that line and trying to give that angle in there. You can see point to point, he's there, but the proximity is just not there that Savio was able to capture, but by cutting line. So now you've got your judges going, hey, which one of those points are we going to judge harder on? But I'm going to tell you, as a lead run, or chase to chase, it's hard lead. Man, that's, I don't know how to even, I don't like being a judge.
Yeah.
Out here judging.
Not a judge.
Yeah.
Quotations. But no, like, I just feel like there's a little bit right here coming up. I feel like the car straightened out a little bit, right? Like, it kind of looks like that a little bit.
You got one thing that I'll let you know, and then I'm going to let everybody know, when they're watching these red line replays and they're watching it go on with the drone, you got to realize the drone is flying at an angle. It is not a stationary position. And when you're watching drifting, most of the time you're either in the car with it, and or you're watching from a stationary position. Watching from a drone, it's really hard once they sync up to not feel like the car straightened. So it didn't look like it straightened in any way, shape, or form to me. But with that angle, I can see where you're coming from with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can physically see the outside, actually. You know, that's a fun fact, though. That's a really fun fact.
Yeah, it's where it goes into it. He was counter steering, trying to get a low angle approach, and it looks Savio Silva gets the win, fist bumping in the air, getting ready to move on to the next part of this bracket. And now we have Luis El Gato Lanz versus Justin Sosa. Luis Lanz, he is a prospect driver now. This is going to be his second year. He's going to be competing in Road Atlanta. You have Justin Sosa in the lead in that BMW. Luis, absolute shredder. He went from grip racing to drifting. Actually, he went from autocross to grip racing to drifting.
He actually followed the DARE program of motorsports. He actually only skipped karting. So he went ahead and went through those, early addictions. But now he's here, a full-blown addict in drifting.
Yep.
And I don't see any rehab in his future. Coming down in this chase position, we're going to go ahead and see what he can do here. Big snap transition there, big handbrake grab to go throw it in. Actually asked in the driver's meeting if he could do that. Coming in, touching the zone, but still quite wide. Getting nice and close. Luis making light work, but throwing the power on to try not to straighten and keep some sort of angle. Coming through, and we've got, it looks like a bobble to straighten coming from him, and then almost an over rotate, and we got Luis trying to just correct. I mean, we're going to watch it better here. But
that was exciting. That was actually really, that was pretty high.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
It's great with Luis Lanz. He does have experience with the English Challenge track, and the only thing that's different with this kind of layout, you don't have the drag strip in the middle. But we do have tires on the track because the lead driver did hit those tires. We're going to see the replay here. I wonder what if he was a little bit.
So we're actually not going to see a replay just because we were changing batteries on the drone.
Okay.
We are doing something new this year where we are going. We've got our cars stacked 3 deep. So if we have a little technical, we get them out. If we get our runs, they're heating the boxes on the last run, so that way we're able to function here. With that being said, we still have some analog, sort of.
Yes.
We have batteries. We're limited on our power intake on those things, so we won't get a replay on that, but you can see my beautiful face wearing these beautiful shades and standing next to these awesome guys out here. I should be on the track with another camera, but that one's not working, so I'm up here hanging out with the fam.
It's the heat, the man, like Florida heat, man. It is not like even my iPhone when I'm recording out there earlier today. It takes a lot, dude.
Yeah.
The crazy carts are the ones that take the biggest hit for me. My crazy cart went from like just sitting in the heat, crazy.
My arms are still sore from West Palm when I was with Taxi Garage.
Well, I was just about to say, hey, Taxi Garage, what's up? I'm Dustin with Dustin Motors. Help me out. I got 3. But I do want to take this time while we're doing this little quick conversation. Drift HQ really making it happen out here in that lead car tent. Kenda Tires, obviously on season again. Super pumped to have him with us. BC Racing, I was just there in Orlando. Just got my new coilover set up for the new 25 season after my big crash. So we're getting that all up. What is this? We got Kansei, which one of our new sponsors this year, making sure everybody looks good in a little bit on the affordable side, but take a beating. Super optimum. You got OMP keeping us all safe. Taxi Garage keeping us going. And then Linky CU taking care of Formula Drift on every aspect, really just making sure they are known and are the new face of, management. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the track. Looks like they're setting up and cleaning up a little bit. I want you to talk about this one here real quick because I don't know much about him yet.
So Op7 is actually the lights that we're going to see later on tonight. They are actually illuminating the booth. They're a big sponsor for us. That they came out here. That's really
Illuminations. Are the minions coming out?
Yeah, well, I know the first round I did, people were asking why I was wearing sunglasses at night, and I wasn't trying to imitate the song, but the light that they were using was brutally bright for me.
Tiny, I heard you wanted to do karaoke. Maybe not right now. Maybe not right now. Yeah, no, so I don't know him yet. I'm excited to hear about him. New sponsor this year. Also coming on new, Wisefab. We all know if you want to throw a big angle and you want to go ahead and make everybody a little jealous with some blue on your car, it's Wisefab. I mean, I've been running it on the Z now for a while. Phenomenal stuff. They're almost like, wow, with the signs. Oh, is that too bad? Oh, Tiny's crying over here with these jokes. Wow out here, making sure that we look good, have all our signs and digital stuff out here. And one of my favorites out here, too, and you can kind of see it in the background here, KBD and Dustin Motors looking right next to each other. Oh, we can't see it. You're in the way. It's fine. There's a lot of stuff. But KBD helping everybody out, making sure that you're not blowing kits up for no joke. I'm actually reusing my same front bumper that just should have been shattered from an incident. So crazy stuff. Out network, making sure you can hear us and see us. Veterans Trust has fed me every time I've seen them, and they are some of the coolest people. Making sure that veterans are able to go through post-traumatic stress disorder with something fun. They're actually able to go ahead and sit in car simulators, get in race cars. We do full events for the veterans so that they can get in there. It's one of my favorite causes, and I can't wait to go take over another military base with them. St. Lucie Tire, making sure all these cars stay on track with some tires, with D-beads, anything else like that. They're able to go get some swaps out. In case they don't have enough Kansais to put those Kendas on, they go ahead and get them switched over at the St. Lucie Mobile Tire. Jackson Performance, as always, one of the premier builders of cars out here, and if it's an oil change to a motor swap, Jackson Performance is your guy.
Yeah.
I can't read this one because I can't read.
Me
I'm
neither.
actually illiterate.
What's the code compliant? That's for the fire suppression units.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Very,
They're
very.
So
important.
you're saying on FLYDAY Drones, we don't want to catch a fire started because it doesn't get put out by...
Jeez.
All these puns are brought to you by Dustin Motors. And if you feel that you've been defrauded, Claim Defenders will take care of you. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get on to this.
And Lewis Lance in the lead. And here he comes, joins that first 50 point and filling it all the way out. As Justin Sosa is trying to get that proximity in here and diving into that reference point. Lewis Lance is going to out. And here comes Lewis Lance going to that fourth outer zone, transitioning, floats his car out there and touches that outer zone, then diving into the final inner clip. Oh, man.
So what we're going to do is we're going to let you announce the winner on this one, okay?
Oh, you want me to announce the
So
winner?
I want to hear, and I'm sure everybody else does, they want to hear your announcer voice. So we want to hear your Sunday best, okay?
Man, this microphone about to blow
So
out.
I'm going to go ahead and point at who won, and you're going to be able to yell at them.
Lewis Lenz has won this round. Congratulations.
He said it a little early.
Oh, my God.
Gotta wait for them to announce it to him. But it's okay. I didn't tell you. That's my fault.
You set
I
him
was
up
just
for
trying to have
failure,
you prepare.
Dustin.
You know,
I'm
that
going to
was
call
on
claim
me.
defenders now.
You know.
Guys, in my defense, I was very excited. Right, in my defense. I feel like you guys know me. You know, it's a... He can be like, all right, we're going to take over this time.
The next time, he's going to be like, there is no next time.
There's no next
Don't
time.
do it to me again.
No, that was really cool for you guys to let me do that.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is. Like I said, as like this whole is a big new experience to me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm glad I'm not judging. And I would be a terrible judge because I would just be like, that's a lovely run, and they'd be like, Cho, you can't, no, that's not how it
And
works.
after you watch 80 lovely runs, you start to find out which ones you thought were more lovely.
No, yeah, I need to have my own grading system. That's what I need.
Here we go. We got Nathaniel Jordan with that Mustang over here. Here he comes. We saw him last year and the year before with that 350Z. And let's see how he shreds out here. Coming in with the initiation. Low powered card hits that first outer zone, transitions to outer zone 2, touches it. And now he's going to use that reference point to hit that inner reference point right there. Barely touches that, but goes to outer zone 3 and hits it. Nice lock to angle. And here he comes to the final outer zone, transitioning. Oh, he barely misses it as he is going to that final inner clip. Great job from Nathaniel Jordan.
Oh, I see it now. It's down there. Okay. What are we doing here?
Oh, man. Nathaniel Jordan absolutely shredder with the American flag Mustang right there. We're waiting for the next battle after that, which will be Hayden Williams and Chris Duplessis.
You know, like these SN95 Mustangs, they're becoming a lot more popular, which I'm a big fan of. You know, like moving new chassis, you know, and heavy competition.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of the most underpowered cars on the track today, but he's been out there just straight shredding. The judges have been loving his driving today, and he is able to be consistent with every run so far. But now we have our next drivers coming up. Hayden Williams versus Chris Duplessis.
When you say underpower, what we're talking here?
He
That thing might make 250.
yeah.
He says, I rolled out of the dealership just like that.
It might make 250.
We have one of the judges saying might make 250 to the wheel. Now we have our next drivers, and it's going to be Chris Duplessis versus Hayden Williams. Hayden Williams is in that S chassis. Chris Duplessis is in that highlighter.
You know that's a K turbo in that red S chassis?
Oh, really?
Yeah, K turbo, bringing it back from 2005. You know.
Hey, heck yeah. Here we go. Chris Duplessis is in the lead with our Texas Corvette, initiating our first outer zone. Does a great job transitioning into outer zone 2, locks the angle, and now he has to find that reference point to put the front tires in there. A little bit of a shimmy from the chase driver, going to outer zone 3, able to touch it. Chris Duplessis does a great job. A correction in the lead, but now transitioning to the final outer zone and touching it, and now diving into inner clip. And it looks like there was a lot of corrections from the lead car, but he was able to hit the zones. It looks like he was sawing at the wheel a little bit. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, that was some panic driving right there, in my opinion. That's a lot of steering wheel, just a ton. But I'll be honest, when we were looking at our chase run, our proximity, our transition, our angle, he's doing what he can, but then he gets choked up here. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting for the judges to go off on this. But early on, big angle, which slowed him down and just didn't let him have his proximity. He put in the power, really trying to catch into him, and gets close, but a lot of motion from it. And then here we are just...
It almost seems like his tires are not even lighting off.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what all is going on. I'm trying to figure it out from like our point of view.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go test my mic down on where I'm going to hopefully be doing some interviews when we're in the competition. So we get that hot interview once they're after.
Absolutely.
Bring some of that little dust and charm over to the track.
So you're leaving us.
Hear me out. It's not you, it's me. Okay.
It's because I messed up earlier, isn't it?
I hate the timing of things, and I can see how you would see it that way. But I want to let you know I'm happy to be here with you. Okay.
I'm so glad.
So I'm going to be down there. We're going to just be a short distance away. We can still make eye contact. We can still make jokes together. But let's go ahead and talk about this one, Tiny.
All right, we got Hayden Williams in the lead with an S chassis coming in with the initiation, and it looks like a low angle on that first outer zone. And now he's trying to light off the tires. It's a very struggle for Hayden Williams. He needs it. There it is. Oh no, a huge correction to outer zone 3. Looks like a complete straighten, and then transitioning to the final outer zone. That's Chris Duplessis from the Shift Cultures tent, and he passes him in his inner clip. Something happened with Hayden Williams' car.
But I mean, that's a great example of like as a like when you're chasing, right?
Yeah.
When you have a car that's a little bit more lower horsepower, that's like you have to put a lot more thought into it, you know. And yes, you have the power, you have the low end torque. But that's the thing, just because you have that, but how can you use that, making sure you can take advantage of that? But sometimes, you know, in the moment, things are super unexpected.
Yes, for sure. Me and the judges had a conversation there earlier, about having the horsepower, but being able to be smooth and consistent with line. But it looks like the judges have come to a decision on this battle here. And we're waiting for our track crew. That is Hunter out there.
Oh, is the one out there?
Right there.
Oh.
Him right there. He's Hunter. He was the one guy that, if you see the viral video Fuel Fest with the guy rolling over, he's the one that dove away from the barrier when the S chassis hit that barrier and rolled. And he was one of the first people on site to try to make sure everybody was okay.
Oh, that was him.
That's him.
Oh my goodness.
He's an absolute legend. I always make sure he was great. And Chris Duplessis gets the win and moves on.
It's okay, that K Turbo has a special place in my heart. You know, you win in my book. I love a good David and Goliath kind of battle.
Oh, yeah.
I think all drivers, you know, you don't even have to judge to see it. You know, you get that so unexpected battle. You never know what could happen, and the unexpected results is what makes, like, you know, professional drifting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So enjoyable to watch.
It's great. I love watching professional drifting, and I love watching the Pro-Am series. And one, it's unexpected. We have our next battle here. We have Pedro Segnini versus Andrew Grindle. Andrew Grindle is in that red S chassis. Pedro Segnini is in the.
Did you see him wave earlier? He was waving.
Yeah.
He's waving.
Hey, give me a wave, Pedro. If you can't hear me down there, I hope the track. It's probably
You need to
so
speak
loud.
a little bit louder. You know.
Yeah, I would love to speak louder, but I do have another bracket to do. But hopefully everybody is enjoying the content and the competition. I love the Pro-Am Series, one, because it's unexpected, some of the drivers, and I love seeing them thrive. When they win the championship and go into the Pro Spec in Formula D, I always make it a priority to go to at least one of their rookie rounds. And that's why I always go to New Jersey.
Well, that's really nice. That's
Yeah.
actually really nice of you. You
It's-
have a really big heart, you know?
It's out of love of the motorsport. This event, it's all family friendly. I have my son that always comes to my events, and he's starting to love motorsports, starting to love cars. He actually likes drag racing now. But we have a restart here. I think someone jumped the line. But we were talking earlier about that chicane there for the lead car. We said this is not a drag race. We are trying to get that lead car to give a good lead lap so that chase car could get that close proximity. If you have a good lead lap, you have an advantage.
Exactly.
Here we go. Andrew Grindo is in the chase, and Pedro is in the lead. Going to that first outer zone and getting right to the angle. Going to outer zone 2, rubbing that back up on the wall. Tire drops, but then dives in to that reference road. Here comes Andrew Grindo. Pedro, and the transition is going to be monster from Andrew Grindo, getting door to door with Pedro. Oh, mercy.
And now his car matches. Now he has a front bumper gone. Now his rear bumper gone.
God dang. Can you guys hear me up there, by the way?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Holy cow.
You saw that?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and it was basically door action right there. Andrew Grindo is getting that close proximity right there, changing his Spotify playlist while he's drifting right next to him. And all of a sudden, here comes that transition. He still has that bumper on outer zone 4 and loses it after punting that clip. What, man, oh man, this is a run where it's exciting to see, but we're going to have the track staff correct that outer wall. Where we're going to look at this. What are you seeing so far with this competition here, right here, with this battle? What do you
See,
think?
like I said, guys, I love action, right? I'm seeing a lot of it. Also, too, like, I'm always learning, you know, and not in like as a grassroots driver, both of the Pro Spec era. So, you know, hearing you commentate and everything, you know, gives me a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
But also too, like, I mean, I love a good, you know, bumper coming off. You know, my eyes were glued to the screen. You know, and no, I honestly, it's one of those things. Is too like sometimes, like you guys were talking about over in the drivers' meeting. Sometimes a car, the bumper might be a little bit further out, so you really need to know your car. And sometimes, you know, at the end of the day, here, right, as much as I love seeing that, you want to make sure you don't do that. You know, and that's a part of that competition.
It's a very drifting is a judge motorsport. It's one of the motorsports where everybody could look at it from the spectator view and they could judge their own way. But you got to go to the criteria of the judges that are up here. It's not up to the fans. It's actually up to the judges that are up here. And we have a three panel of judges. We have RND1 Burkett, Formula Drift driver, absolute legend with the Supra. he's always out there. He's usually in sandals, but today he decided to wear closed-toe shoes, which was funny.
Yeah, never mind. We have another judge here who's got
We
sandals on.
have Bob Sherman, Bill Sherman.
How am I Bob?
Paul gave me the wrong name earlier, and Bill Sherman, he's a legend here. But we have Andrew Grindle coming out here in the lead. They're going into outer zone, locking into angle, going to outer zone 2, and then he rubs that back bumper on that outer wall. Same with Pedro. This is outer zone 3 in the lead. Then transitioning to outer zone 4, getting right there, trying to flip the car out. Pedro is trying to keep that proximity all the way through to that inner clip.
So the lead car missed the whole zone.
Yeah.
And hit a clip.
So we're talking about that Bob comment before a little bit later. But what are you looking here?
You know, the biggest thing I've seen is that watching these cars when they go in entry, and then just seeing how it's amazing how some of these cars when they go right into it. And the biggest thing too, like as a lead car, like you're trying to do your best to obviously do a nice perfect lap, right?
Yeah.
And then but watching that chase car react. And it gets me every single. I mean, even right now, when you see him, there's that gap right there, and then when they're transitioning, that chase car is really trying his best to fill in that gap as much as possible. But this part right here, what I've noticed is that this is where a lot of drivers, it's a hit or miss, you know, when they're coming in, regardless of what setup you have. And I think that to me as a spectator, you know, looking at this is where it's really crucial. I'm really wanting to see.
And it looks like Andrew Grindle gets the win and moves on. And we're going to talk about...
Absolutely wild run by those two guys. Paulo and Andrew both drive over at OSW all the time. Absolutely been putting on clinics and shows, Monster Drift, all kinds of different events. Grindle actually just getting his first win at OSW, King of OSW. And man, is he going to try to get some points today?
Yes, for sure. When we have a Paul Outlook, it's so hard to say his last name. It gets me tongue-tied. But Paul, he's a common judge over here. He's always out here shredding. Used to be a spotter for FD and very well-rounded driver here in South Florida.
And that's a tough job too, being a spotter. You know, you know, I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, you just gotta look, right? Yeah. No, and you have to make the right, you know, calls.
Yes.
You know, and hopefully the driver itself, you know, could receive those calls and transfer that into like the actual run.
The next drivers we have here is Darren Boscia and Bill Stenger, another OG in the four-wheel drifting. Here's Darren Boscia coming in with that no-tread 350Z going into that reference point, a little low angle. Here comes Bill Stenger He is muscling that BMW to try to get there, and late transition that makes him fall behind with the proximity as Darren Boscia is going to that finish line. Darren Boscia is the youngest competitor on the grid today.
Really?
He's a teenager. He's still in high school.
Wow. See, you know, when I was in high school, I was just thinking about. I was watching dubstep edits of people drifting. You know, but like I love seeing a classic 350Z, hearing that beautiful VQ, and right there, like. And that's what I'm talking about when you see like a lot of drivers make quick decisions.
Yes.
And you know, as a spectator, is like, you know, even from being up here, you really get to see so much of a different perspective where you think the cars are going super fast, but then when you're from up here in our perspective, like, wow, there's like so much a different speed here.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And you have Bill. Like I said, he was an OG. I talked to him earlier. I saw him on the podcast with Drift Sessions. And I loved his character. He's an OG guy. He's like, I'm coming out here from 10 years ago. I'm getting into the competition scene. I'm going to see if I could keep up with the young bucks and have a good time. He does also have a family as well, and we were talking about that. And I'm excited to see how he performs throughout the series, especially being an old head. It's great because you're going from like the classic Formula Drift where it was low horsepower going into the battles, but now we have him competing here in the lead. Let's see if Darren is going to get that proximity. Bill dives into his first outer zone, tires drops, transitions to outer zone 2, and touches that back bumper on that wall. But here comes Darren. He is being daring as he is diving into the pocket of Bill. And Bill hits outer zone 3. Lights off his tires, transition to outer zone 4, and it's a little bit late lighting off those tires on outer zone 4. Looks like he had to float a little bit more and going into the final inner clip. I wonder what's going on here.
Almost too off there.
I mean, just watching that, like, you know, with that BMW, right, and with versus that 350, right, and you could see, you know, there's a little bit of a rough start, but I mean, after that, like, he was going in at it, and it was also really interesting to see the 350 doing his best to, you know, to compensate for what was going on, and
It's great because I know Darren uses a sim a lot, and so he's able to kind of see those front tires and annotate his car and manipulate the car so he could get to that pocket. And now he's waiting behind, seeing what he's going to do on the transition. He saw that late snap transition, and Darren was like, okay, let me slow down a little bit and then dive back into that pocket. It's fantastic to see these drivers do that.
another thing too is like if as a chase, right, you really want to be out the door right away, because then any momentum you keep losing, you have to run shallow and more shallow, and then, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to start sacrificing, you know, clipping points just to catch up, you know.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have a decision here shortly. We're gonna see what Hunter points it. And here we go. It looks like we're waiting for that Hunter to point. Yep. And it looks like
Anticipation.
Bill Stinger gets the win and moves on. Hey man, you're the OG out here, Bill the OG Stinger. And now we have our next battle here, Ryan Kaufman and Colette Davis. This one you're gonna have a treat. You have Ryan Kaufman from Taxi Garage. You've probably seen the viral videos of him and Nick Ward just shredding tires in Las Vegas. Nick Ward pretty much lighting off his tires and melting his back bumper. He is not here today. He's actually in Japan.
Lucky.
Yeah. And then we have Colette Davis on the left here on the screen. We're waiting for the lights for them. After this, we'll go to a commercial break. But these two absolute animals, they're going to a pro spec. You're going to get a pro spec Formula Drift kind of vibe today on this battle. I love seeing these guys. Colette Davis, she's a sweetheart when you're talking to her on the pits. But on the track, she'll sink her teeth and she'll get onto that door and very aggressive. I love seeing that kind of driver. And Ryan Kaufman is the fun type of guy. He's out here with that RX-7 FE coming in. Nice initiation to our first out of zone, transition to out of zone 2. Here comes Colette Davis in the BMW. Gonna try to reel him in like a big old fish. And here is, oh my God, out of zone 3. A good fill out from Ryan Kaufman going to the final outer zone and filling that out, locked to the angle. And Colette Davis trying to get that tire mark on the quarter panel of Ryan Kaufman.
You are not lying. That was a very fantastic run out there.
Oh man, you were gonna see this drone replay. Give us a rundown of this drone.
You know, like this, as compared to the other ones, right? This one's a lot more traditional when you see in Pro-Am, where both chase and lead car are doing their thing, and now this is where you nitpick at the little details, and they're in the lines, they're in transition, they're almost like kind of choreographically dancing in here, and I mean it's amazing. That's a really great run right there.
The drifting is like the ballet of motorsports.
You just gotta trust the person that'll drop you and everything.
Yeah, if they drop you, then they drop you. But we're gonna have them switch sides on this battle. Colette Davis is gonna be in the lead, and Ryan Kaufman in the chase.
So funny, she's under the drift AU.
Yes. Yeah. She's a absolute shredder. She was a shredder with the Corvette. Last year she was struggling a little bit with the BMW and the OSW, but then she just got it to where she liked it and she started enjoying it. And you probably, some people that watch the YouTube videos have seen her progress from last year to today. It's absolutely bonkers to see how she is shredding that BMW and how comfortable she was compared to when she first sat in it.
I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, from what I saw the car last time, it's a whole different car.
Yes.
You know, that's what she was telling me, and that's the thing about drifting, especially in Pro-Am. Like, you might have to change setups a lot, and it's very like tasking.
And here we go, Colette Davis in the lead, coming out here with a nice initiation, hit numbers out of zone, and here comes Ryan Kaufman being fierce, diving into the pocket, getting that close proximity that we need. Oh, he falls out behind. Now Colette Davis hits out of zone 3 and fills that all the way out. Ryan Kaufman needs to reel her in and get that close proximity, which he does. The fierce Ryan Kaufman
That
getting
is what I'm talking
doors.
about. That is what I'm talking about. That was amazing.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was amazing.
When Ryan Kaufman drives and he knows he's comfortable with that lead driver, you see this kind of aggression from him. You'll see him reading the way
right
she's
there, that's
inputting. It's absolutely maniacal. And you're going into outer zone 3. He has to fall behind because he did fall back. And now he's going to dive into the pocket right here with that decel zone. He's using the decel zone to his advantage to gate that
But
proximity.
the timing was fast. Ryan had great timing. Like, I mean, like that was almost 1-to-1 right there. You know, when it comes to transition. And you know he's on by himself today?
Yeah.
He's a one-man show today.
Dude, last round of last year when I talked to him, I enjoyed talking to him. He's always with a smile. He's always having fun. And when I talked to him before the season last year, he wasn't sure he was going to do U.S. Drift Circuit last year.
I was smiling the whole entire time while I was watching this.
Oh, dude,
It was so hype.
Yeah, and then when I saw him at FD Orlando, I'm like, dude, I love watching you drive. Come out, let's shred. And he got the license. And now he's going to FD, and I'm excited to see him in New Jersey, in my home track, seeing him shred. He's shred there before, but it's a little bit different when you have a stadium full of people.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, man, it's the energy. I don't know if I'm bringing the whiteboard this year, though. Here we go. We got a decision, I believe, from the judges. Or they're discussing a little bit.
This is a...
So we're trying someone else's run. You cannot interrupt them. They can talk to you about your run, but now
Here we go. And it looks like it's a one more time battle.
Oh, wow.
One more time.
I got really excited, but I don't want to say anything right away.
One more time.
I love a good one more time because that just shows you like the judges like that was really close, and you could argue this is more pressure now because now you have that you're like 1-to-1 with each other.
Yes.
And then and I've seen plenty of videos in the past where a lot of drivers mess up because the pressure really gets to.
All right, we're waiting for. We're going to a quick commercial break so we can hear from the sponsors. We'll get them back on the grid and get them situated. We'll see our one more time battle after this commercial break. So we'll see you guys soon.
tires than on the racetrack. That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built in Everest has the UHP Max tire goes from podium
A lot of performance.
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win, pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
Op 7.
Op 7.
Op 7. Op 7.
Time. I want to see this.
All right, you see Ryan Kaufman out there. It's absolutely crazy. We had a great conversation during that commercial break, but we're gonna see the next drivers come up, and it's that one more time battle. It's gonna be Ryan Kaufman and Colette Davis. The track crew is getting the clipping zones situated. How are you feeling so far in your first venue where you're on the booth and being on the mic and live?
Man, you know, I'm first of all, I'm honored too. I'm trying. I don't know if you guys know, I'm trying to be very professional. Yeah, like you know, for me, I love talking. Right, you know, I love yapping. Yeah, and I love your energy. I feel like our energy is just like two peas in a pod kind of vibe. You know, but also too, like I take this very seriously as well because you know, it get perspective that I could give. You know, compared to like you know, always having very, you know, like you said, like having statistics and stuff. You know, maybe sometimes people like me who love watching Formula D, but they just need something a little bit more grassroots.
Yes.
You know.
We have we have a buy run real quick here with that S chassis.
You don't see a lot of S13s with pop-up headlights, especially when it's full, because people do the sleepy eye mod.
Oh yeah, I like the full pop up or the one I
and you know, and that's the thing too. Like you see a lot of people doing S15 conversions, right? And I'm coming in, it's hype, but come on, let's bring it back a little bit. You know, and it's got a beautiful bumper in the front, you know, and I love the poke too. I know a lot of people like put fender flares, but I love a drift car with like a lot of poke and no fender flares on it. It's just something like very like drifting about it.
It's very aggressive.
Oh no, very very.
And this is I tell people I love the aggressive S chassis. You see that Sasha Prospero's S chassis in the back. I love seeing that. But here we go. We have our ride run going through. Beautiful. Beast Coast drifting going out here. Getting a straight gangster with the angle. Missing that reference point, but see him hits out of top of the ring. And yeah, barely flirts with that line, going to outer zone 4, transitioning all the way through. My, oh my.
I love that. You hear that? He was on limiter. He's my kind of guy. He is my kind of guy.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, is it an SRK?
I actually got to look into that, but that's something that...
An
that's
animal over there. Just so you guys know, that man was in clutch issues up until hours before the event opened in the gates. So he was doing a lot of work over there. But yeah, I'm tied in, and I'm actually getting to be on the back control side, and I'm going to be doing some interviews down here. Actually sitting with one of the drivers right now. We're getting some info from him, but we'll go ahead and get you some info when we have it.
Yeah, for sure. We have our driver here with the KA in there, and he's been out here shredding tires. He came out here last year and started competing. I love seeing that purple come out and just...
You really like that purple? It's just something about it.
You walk by that car and it glimmers into your eye.
I love the blue wheels. I love that like cyberpunk kind of aspect of it. I think that's like really aesthetically pleasing.
I'm a huge cyberpunk.
Oh, so that means that's hours worth of uninterrupted content right there. But I mean, I love that. It's like a brr, brr, brr. Like I mean, for me, I'm a big limiter guy. When we finish my drift car, it's just pure limiter. Missing gears, but it's all limiter. You know, it just all the people call it the screen power, the wastegate pipe, all the way up. I love it. No, but KA2, that's the second one. Yeah. It's back, low key.
Yeah, it is. We have a couple of people that the one main person that I had a conversation with him before the season started, Willie Espinoza. He is not going to be coming. He actually had the FDR7, and he was a straight missile. I love watching him drive. But during OSLW last year, he locked up his engine. So he has to rebuild everything. But we have our battle here, our top 16 battle, Tom Merriman versus Tyler Hess.
Oh, so we're getting down to it now. This is where, if you guys don't know, this is where the competition really starts to heat up.
Yes.
And drivers, and here's the thing too, there's a lot of fatigue in driving.
Oh yeah.
You know, mentally, physically, and also your car as well. So you guys gotta be all together as one.
Yes.
And it's really interesting to see how these drivers, will take on this challenge.
Yeah, we're saying that with me and talking to Lewis, he shows me his steps or his heart rate and how much calories he burns through the day.
Wow.
And it's crazy. By the end of the day, go talk to Lewis and see his calories.
I burned off too much calories just walking down here.
Here we go. We got Tyler in the lead. Tyler Hess in the chase. Here we go. Coming in with a nice weight change. Oh, nice hit on that first out of zone. He comes back and gets one tire off. Now he locks the angle going to that one. Looks like he straightens out the touchdown scoring. Now, Tom Merman does have to complete this lap. He is the lead driver as he is going to that final underclip and caresses that interclip with his front bumper.
You guys remember, you guys talk about the driver's meet. This is not a fast track, no. And then just even from my eyes, seeing that, like, where he kind of lied out a little bit. And then that's the thing too, like, the track's getting really hot now. There's a lot of rubber on it, right? And then, I mean, you just going out there like that. But then also that BMW, I mean, hopefully everything's alright.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Merman left off those tires, and then I feel like Tyler Hess might have gripped up, and it was like he couldn't reinitiate the drive. So that's going to be a big deduction from the judges.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he is driving off track. Like he's going to check on his car. I believe it's a 5-minute. As Tom Merman is going to be sitting back, getting ready. As we have our next drivers coming up, it will be Anthony Messner versus Sasha, the Ironside Prospero.
So once someone takes a 5-minute, right? And then let's say you gotta get your next race driver coming out. So do they cycle over again after the 5 minute?
Yeah, they try to filter them into the line so we could get them going through. Keep
the pace going.
Yes, because when you have a live bracket like this, you want to try to keep the momentum going all the way through. With the guys out here on the grid, there's been times where in previous seasons where it was hard to filter through, and there was just so many 5-minute timeouts that it was backed up to. Usually it was like 3 or 4 battles.
Really? Oh my
And
goodness.
it was 5-minute timeouts for those 4 battles. Now the 5th battle is like, oh, you have to be at the line or else you get.
And that's confusing. You know, that's a spaghetti of a mess. You
Yes.
know, at that point, everyone adds like it's all 25 minutes now with adding all that. And that's the thing too. That's one of the things you never know. You know that all of a sudden everyone's got luck and all their drift cars, and then you know how do you? And I think that's the part where you guys have good staff, good crew.
Yes.
You know, people in the background. Like when you're organizing, it's more than just hosting and narrating. Like you guys need to also prepare for all the unexpected, and that requires so much prep time, so much good communication. By the way, US Drift Circuit, they have a solid team, solid staff. They're all wearing black. I don't know how they're handling the heat. I'm having a heat stroke, and we're in the tent. You know, I'm drinking so much water. I'm like 100% water right now.
Yeah, it's so funny because the first round in Sebring, Sebring is a former military base.
Yeah.
And you're drifting on a tarmac. I know how it feels to be in 115-degree weather on heat, but it's different with Florida heat because of the humidity. It sucks all the moisture out of you, and you start cramping up. That's brutal. We make sure the staff has water. We do have electrolytes down there.
Hydration is super important, you know.
Very important. I'm more worried about the media guys out there.
No, exactly.
The first round I commentated was Eric the Fireball Noguera lighting off a fireball and almost singeing the eyebrows.
You don't even remember that moment for sure.
Yeah. All right.
It was pretty lit, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty lit. Oh my goodness. We have Andres Messner. He's in that Infinity. He has Sasha Ironsides Prospero in that S chassis. Out here just being
A lot of romantic names, you know.
I come up with the names because it's fitting for them, and Andres Mester is always on point like his livery. And as he is going in that first out of zone, Sasha is able to fist. Oh my God! Dang! Oh my goodness! Like I said earlier, Sasha does have to complete the lap. He is the lead vehicle. Going to outer zone 4, hits that outer zone, and now he's diving into the inner clip. Now.
That was a really, really solid run, actually, from
That was
Sasha.
a fantastic run as a lead. He knows he needs to complete that lead. Now he has to complete a chase.
You know, like, I don't know what happened right there, but I mean, I'm glad it was a close call. It was a very, very close call. Good thing there's no concrete barriers out there.
No.
You know?
It looked like he understeered.
Yeah.
He understeered a lot, and he mistimed the transition.
Yeah.
He was forward in the pocket in the first outer zone. So
I know he's been having issues, and I feel for him. You know, you're as a driver, you sometimes have to compensate for the machine, but there's only so much you can compensate for. You know?
And drifting is an endurance game. It's not a sprint. And
Thank God it's not a sprint. You know, I would not last.
you're telling me, man.
I mean, I was sprinting earlier to get up to this tower.
And the last time I sprint was in 2016.
Oh, that's pretty new. That's actually pretty recent.
Here we go. We have them switching sides. We have Andres Mister in the lead, Sasha Prospero in the chase, and we're getting ready for those lights. Sasha is an absolute monster.
He's on fire.
He's been up actually in Tampa. He was struggling with the car, and he now dialed it in before the competition. I love seeing him drive, and here he comes in the chase. Let's see if Andres Mister does a great lead angle.
Wow.
Early, and here comes Sasha. He's a real man. It looks like this driver as Andres misses outer zone 3, transitions to outer zone 4. He does touch it, lights off the tires, trying to get to the final inner clip. This is technically a complete chase run. So we're gonna get a quick just know if you look at how they drive and how competitive they are, it can be a slugfight. Mike Tyson versus George Foreman kind of fight. It's a big slugfest. We got the judge's decision here. And Sasha Ironside's Prospero gets the win and moves on.
You know, people who have not seen drifting in real life, they'll say a lot of things, but it is one of the biggest entertaining sport out there. You know, unlike other big motorsports where you go in a circle a lot.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a couple crashes.
Left turn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm turning left again. You know, people drifting, we go down, left, and right, we crash, catch on fire. Some caught on fire. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy to see.
No, it is.
It's brutal, but we actually have our one more time battle. This is Ryan Kaufman and Colette Davis. The winner of this one goes against Harry Spencer. So, two absolute savages on the track. Ryan Kaufman and an RX-7 come down here. Well, now he's going into that reference point and going out there. Trying to dive into that fourth out of the little bit of a left foot brake so he can slow himself down so he can get there and hitting that final 100%. A beautiful lead lap. Colette Davis was fighting behind him.
That was like they were going at each other, you know, and you guys can't tell, but video doesn't do justice how fast these drift cars, especially after that initiation, like I mean they take off. It's like a slingshot, and I feel like that's another thing too. Like you said earlier, like making corrections, and if you mess that up, you are not going to recover from that.
No, and you're seeing that the final part of this.
They got a little closer right there.
Yeah, a little bit closer. but when the cars are into these corrections, they're kind of massaging the angles and they can be able to run something.
Exactly.
More speed you have. But Colette Davis does a great job as a driver to kind of lock in and look at those front tires and see what they need to do. And here we go. We got our second half of this battle. Colette Davis in the lead. Right. Chase. Colette Davis, a nice initiation, massaging the angle in that first episode. Here comes Ryan Crawford diving in, trying to get right to the pocket. Here comes Colette Davis.
Oh wow.
Zone 3. And here comes the transition. Ryan Crawford dives out of that smoke and goes right to angle to mirror Colette
That was beautiful.
Davis.
Oh man, that was. See, I love that. That's traditional tandem drifting right there, right? You know, and you guys are just fighting to get that space, every little inch right there, and it's just, I mean, look at that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
She was fantastic on that. The smoke, just fighting that grip and getting in there. And awesome, the transition, using that left foot brake to float herself out there, and then diving into that inner clip. That's a beautiful lead run from Colette Davis.
You know, a lot of people think doing a lead run is pretty easy. You know, they think like, oh, because you're not chasing someone, you just go for it. But that's the thing, like, you know, sometimes if you don't do a good lead run, that might put you in a really bad position.
Yeah.
But I think she did a fantastic job.
It was a great lead run from her. And the judges are looking at both of the drivers, but we see our next battle there is Paolo Moto and John Temple, but we're waiting for the decision from the judges here. While Ryan Kaufman and Colette Davis are still on the track.
Oh, the tension right here.
And it looks like the judges have come to the decision. Ryan Kaufman gets banned. I heard one of the judges say, wow, that was close.
Oh, no, 100% it was. That might be the closest battle we had as of right now.
Yeah. And now we have Paola Mota in the lead and John at the Rocket Man Temple in the chase.
This is going to be a really, really fun to watch.
It's always fun to watch John Temple run because of the P is for Plenty dashboard he has there. That's
really.
P is for Plenty is something that the combat engineers say is that's a term of measurement.
Oh, that's a fun fact. That's a fun fact of the day right there.
So whenever we're like, all right, how much C4 we need for that door? He's like, P is for Plenty. Here he comes. John Temple with the thumbs up there. He's also known as the mother. Oh!
I like how we both have the same reaction.
That the judges are going to be looking at this to see if it was a issue with the lead. You're going to see.
But you see, there was a lot of angle in this run.
Yeah.
A ton of angle here.
Yeah, you can see Paolo Mota that cone, and he's going far out of that zone, and he just angles up. Now John is trying to fight the proximity because Paolo just dives out there and then angles up and then transition, and John is just trying to match the lead. So this might be against Paolo Mota in the lead.
Well, it's what's really nice too, like, you know, like I said, like, you know, no matter if you're chasing or running, you know, like you gotta make sure you have a solid, you know, you can't just hot boy full angle lock on it, right? Unless the track calls for that, you know. But obviously here, you don't really need to go that crazy, you know. But it's just, I mean, obviously,
Paolo is going to be in the chase now, and then we're going to have John Temple in the lead. Here we go. John Temple in that S14. I say the S14s look like they got a stink face, like there's a big, heavy beast run coming through.
oh wow,
Lights off the tires with the first
oh
one.
wow,
Oh, no.
wow.
Paolo hits that outer zone, and now he is lost in the smoke. John Temple riding off tires. Jump screen, engage.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
He is transitioning to that fourth outer zone, able to fill it out. Now diving into that inner clip, and
Wow.
he hits it. Great lead run
Wow,
from
that
John the
was-
Rocketman Temple.
You saw that? You saw that? That was a great run right there.
The way he lights off those tires is a fantastic. I thought he was going to make contact in the chase.
Yeah. That's what I thought too, but thankfully that nothing happened.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
But the amount of
Right there,
smoke
right- oh.
was insane. Paolo, they couldn't see anything.
Oh no, I like, and dude, you see that gap that was
Yes.
made right there? Like at one point the drone just lost the Mustang.
But man, that right to angle initiation was great. Then transitioning, beautiful transition.
They got
from the
close
lead.
to that wall too.
Yeah, and I think the judges have come to the decision here. And it looks like John Temple gets the win and moves on. Amped up.
Basically, Paulo was like inactive chase. I mean, you saw the fall.
Yeah.
So they basically had 2 zeros for Paulo. John had a better lead.
Okay. So it looked like it was a lead versus lead. They had 2 inactive chases previously, 2-0 chases. So John Temple's lead was a lot better than Paolo. So he moves on. That's great. That's a fantastic explanation from the judges. Now we have Tom Merman is going to be in the chase here, and Tyler Hess is going to be in the lead. You see Matt Schulman behind, warming up his tires.
Love his livery, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shout out to
Clean.
Injuku.
Clean livery.
Really nice guy. I wanted to go talk to him. You
Yeah?
know, I was like, hey, I saw your video. I told him congratulations.
Yeah, he's definitely a fun person to talk to. Here we go. We got Tyler Hess in the lead, and Tom Merman in the chase. Coming down. Transitioning out of zone 2. Lock the angle. Hits it all the way in there. Going to that inner reference point. Here's Tom Merman keeping close proximity in the chase as he is diving in.
Whoa!
A little smooch from the front bumper as Tom Merman.
Was there contact?
There was some contact there. It was a little smooch from Tom Berman as in the chase. We're going to see what was, who was at fault here shortly.
Yeah, that's the one time the drone wasn't up there.
Yeah, it's, we're going to see what the judges have deemed this. Doesn't look like nothing is
Just a tiny little
messed up.
peck, little peck, you
little
know,
kiss, little kiss.
consensually.
Yes. I was thinking of the song from Prince.
I found out Tampa really likes Prince songs. You know, we were listening to the radio. My rental, yeah, in the rental car, it's just all Prince.
He was a fantastic artist. Rest in peace, Prince. One of my favorite guitarists.
love purple. You love purple.
Yeah.
So there might be a connection right there.
Purple rain.
That's like your first instinct to think. I love hearing the judges talk.
Yeah, and especially with the judges we have here that are very in tune with drifting, especially in Formula Drift, and
Yep.
having those fun conversations with them. But I think we came up with a decision, and it looks like the decision has been made. Tom Herman gets the win and moves on. Tyler Hess is going to be in the main event.
Oh, you can tell he's very happy.
Yes, he is. Oh, he's got a smile on his face, amped up to shred tires.
I just want to say that BMW over there, it sounds amazing during practice. I mean, he was just.
Yeah. And it's funny, I was talking to him about his livery. He said he wanted his livery to be similar to old school Taco Bell.
Really? I
Yeah.
miss old school Taco Bell. Remember the Chihuahua?
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. There we go. We got Vincent Toledo in the purple BMW. This is a bye run. Man, I love hearing that whine.
Oh,
as
it's
he's
beautiful,
going around.
beautiful.
That's out of zone 3. Then transition to outer zone 4. Let's see if he is able to fill that out, and he does. He's locked to angle, going to that final inner clip.
I love when a car like clutching. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of drivers appreciate that. Not your clutch might not be happy eventually, but it just sounds amazing. You know, it's really the essence of drifting when you hear like audios like that.
Yes, it's so great to see that, and especially in the Pro-Am level where they are not at the point where it's like Formula Drift Pro level, like horsepower, but when they have that clean sound going through the track, it's
You
so
say that, but there's cars out here that's making 900 horsepower,
Yes.
and we have a car that's making 200
Yeah, it's now. Back in the day, it was like 500 horsepower at
Oh
Pro
yeah.
level.
Oh yeah.
Now in Pro-Am level, you have to be at the 600.
I still remember
800.
Forsberg running that convertible 350.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
that's a throwback. You know.
Another throwback is that Nas commercial you had with Jared Dean.
Yeah, yeah.
The bottle on the wall.
And that just shows you that the evolution and what, and don't forget too, it's moving with the times. Like parts back then were not as available.
Yes.
You know, the internet was still kind of like coming to its own.
Yeah.
eBay was still functioning, I guess, right? You couldn't just grab a turbo kit.
Yep.
You know, so with modern stuff now, where things are so much more plentiful. Like, I mean, even JDM engines. I'm a big RB guy. I might pick up an RB tomorrow. You
Yeah.
know, like just because they're becoming a lot more plentiful. We have a lot more resources, but then obviously things get more expensive. You guys up the value, and I mean, people always talk about 900 was not that bad. Have you been in a 900 horsepower drift car? No, I don't think so. It is too fast for me.
I haven't even been in a drift car.
I could take you out right now.
I'm good. It's already too hot up here. Here's Zach Chin and Louis Lance out here.
Oh, you're too funny.
Zach Chin is going to be in the lead. Louis Lance is in the chase. Let's
Two
see-
very loud V8s.
Yes. And we're going to get ready for this battle. Let's see how Zach performs out here with that Ford Mustang. Ford versus Chevy coming out here with a straight initiation, but missing the first outer zone. And then now going to outer zone 2 and flirting with it. Falls off track.
Whoa.
Way off track. And then looks like this is outer
Whoa.
zone 3.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa! Wow, there's a
Okay.
lot to talk about right there.
Yes. I'm happy Lewis didn't crash into him. That's one thing to talk
Oh
about.
yeah. I mean, right. Like from both sides, you know, like the Corvette looked like he was just taking his time. Then the Mustang, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go a little wider. And then I think at one point they both mutually agree, hey, you know what? I think we should be on the outside.
Yeah.
On the white line right there. I like how they both follow the though, you know?
Well, yeah, the lead car is a moving clipping point for the chase car. So Lewis does a great job following the lead driver on parts of the track that wasn't supposed to be parts of the track. And then the evasive maneuvers from Louis Lance.
That was close,
That
you know?
was fantastic from him. That shows the experience he has, and I'm pretty sure his heart rate is through the roof right now.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you, like, blood pressure's up there. Same like oil pressure, you know?
Here we go. We got Louis Lance now in the lead. And Zach Chin in the chase.
I cannot wait to see this.
Me too. Here we go. Zach Nova livery. Actually, Lewis has two cars. He has a demo car and his Pro Spec car. And then I believe he has another car being built for Pro Spec as well. But here we go. Louis Lance coming in with a nice initiation. With that first out of zone. Zach Chin, this gives Lewis room. As Lewis goes to second out of zone, Zach Chin over-rotates and straightens out. Louis Lance does have to complete a lap. Sector the tires. Smoke up as he's going into that final outer zone. And able to hit that outer zone and then dive into that inner clip. A complete run for Louis Lance.
Whew. I mean, that run right there.
That was great.
Oh, that was. I think those. Top 10 best right there. But I mean that but that's the thing though. Like, what happened? Like that's what we want to know. What exactly happened after that initiation?
I think with Zach, I did see him struggle on the track a little bit in the practice. I don't think he's comfortable yet in that Mustang, or there's something going on with it that he wasn't fully getting the rhythm down. With Lewis, Louis Lance gets the win and moves on, but I think Zach needs to get a little more comfortable getting to where he needs to be. Where you saw the straight line initiation, you don't see much people coming out here doing straight line initiations. So
he tried his best though. You can see he made a real effort to try to keep that car where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But obviously in competition, you need to give it 110% lock in.
And now we have our next battle here. It's Nathaniel Jordan versus Chris Duplessis. Chris Duplessis is in the lead. We have comedian as one of the judges up here.
I love that. I love that yellow. Well, you see that wrap? That wrap looks great.
Yeah,
you know,
the
on that
highlighted
Corvette.
I'm pretty sure I had the same color highlighter in high school.
I still have that highlighter. at least you know where it's going, you know?
For sure. Here we go. Chris Duplessis in the lead. And Nathaniel Jordan in the chase. And he gets gapped right off the start. Nathaniel Jordan is struggling with speed because he doesn't have that much horsepower. That's Chris Duplessis. And now he's going to try to get into outer zone 4. And he does. And he angles up and then dives into that final inner clip. And Nathaniel Jordan does a great job staying in drift in the chase. But it's a horsepower game right there because he just, right off the line, gets gapped. It's a big struggle, especially when you have that grassroots level kind of car. But he does a great job in the chase, just trying to get to that proximity. He shallows up the angle to try to get more speed. But he's still fighting there. This is a David and Goliath battle, I would say, because you have this David trying to get that proximity, but it's just a struggle.
But now this is going to be interesting because now we're going on the opposite perspective of where that low horsepower car has the whole control here. You know, so the chase needs to now really hyper focus and lock in. But I mean, honestly though, consistency, they both were really consistent.
Yeah.
You know, it's a horsepower game here.
Yeah.
But the consistency might save you.
Yeah, and here we go. We have Nathaniel Jordan, who has been consistent throughout the day, and here he comes with that Ford Mustang transition into that first outer zone, and transition to outer zone 2. Beautiful fill up, but then massages the angle. Looks like he's sawing a little bit at the wheel. Here comes Chris, trying to cut the track a little bit. Oh, looks like a straight from Chris, as Nathaniel is transitioning to outer zone 4, and then diving in to that inner clip.
Listen, I'm not trying to say anything. Like I told you, like, I'm just saying, like, there is a real everyone's got their advantages and disadvantages, and I mean, we both had the same reaction.
Yeah.
You know, we both had that same reaction, and right now it looks like the people's Mustang is becoming the people's favorite. But what happened there? Like,
I think he was trying to cut the line a little bit to get the proximity, but then his front tires got gripped up a little bit too much and straightened him out. And we'll see in the replay. We got the judges arguing.
You can't chase us to the car?
We got lead. We got the judges over here arguing with each other.
that's what judges do. They gotta argue.
It was an interesting argument. And it looks like they have a winner. Nathaniel Jordan gets the win.
Oh my God! Oh my!
That was.
Oh my! Whoa! I almost passed out. That was awesome. That's.
You have Nathaniel Jordan. He didn't have the horsepower to keep up in the chase, but he still was in drift in the chase.
But that's what I'm saying. That's your final last weapon of defense.
Yep.
They like this best defense is a good offense.
Yes, that is for sure.
You know, and that makes me happy because that gives me confidence I could compete now with 200 horsepower.
Oh.
You know? just.
Yeah, you have a bunch of people out here that, like we were talking about Chris Jackson, right? He had the E30 with not that much horsepower, but he was still getting doors with 800 horsepower cars, 500 horsepower cars.
I just overheard the judges as well. I love that they brought up there's no rule about how fast you need to go at the track. And all they care about is, like, do you hit the points? Do you don't crash? You're consistent, and...
Here we go. We got Bill Stinger in the lead and Andrew Grindle in the chase. Bill Stinger, the OG of the Grizzly here in Florida, transitioning to outer zone 2, missing outer zone 2, but here's Andrew Grindle with that S chassis. He goes off track. Massaging the angle and mirroring in matching angle as Bill Stinger is doing a fantastic job with
Let's
the BMW.
go! Let's go! Did you see that? They got super close.
Fantastic.
That was proper tandem right there.
Yes,
that was
it
a
was.
proper tandem.
Look at this. You got Bill Stinger. Yeah, he didn't hit the first outer zone. He barely flirts with the. He missed the outer zone too, but he does a great job as a lead car.
That's 3 points right there.
Yeah.
Hitting those cones.
Yep. Then he is able to hit outer zone 3, and then you have Andrew Grindle with that heavy horsepower car or high horsepower car that he's able to keep the proximity. Like we said with the previous battle, you might have that much horsepower, but can you tandem with a lower horsepower
Exactly. And here's my thing. I love when the car could transition in sync.
Yes.
That is just, this was like fresh, like buns out of the oven. You can smell it. It's just pure delicious. As a driver, I feel like everyone could appreciate beautiful tandem syncing like right there.
I'm so happy you went away with the buns in the oven.
I mean, bread's pretty good for you, actually.
Yeah.
You know? But garlic bread will make you fat, though. You know, fun fact.
Okay, we have Andrew Grindle in the lead and Bill Stinger in the chase. That first out of zone, filling it all the way out. It's Bill Stinger with that BMW and diving in to try to get that proximity. Oh, makes contact. That's a drive off. Andrew Grindle does a great job of getting out to that outer zone 4. And he's going to dive into that final winner clip. Bill Stinger out there. Hey, this guy got some gruff in him.
Okay. You ever think about how close some of these drivers right there, like when they're just zigzagging through each other?
Ah, I love it. I love seeing the grit.
I mean, just like right there. Oh, that was close.
All right, we have one more battle after this to complete the top 16, so we can see the grade 8.
Oh wow, we are moving right now.
Moving through the seeding bracket. It's great. And with the Formula Drift, they put the seeding bracket so it's more battles compared to qualifying runs that you'll see in other series. I love seeing the seeding bracket because, one, I love seeing tandems. I sometimes enjoy qualifying, but it's not the same when you see
no
slugfest after slugfest after slugfest. But we got a judge's decision here. And it looks like Andrew Grindle gets the win and moves on
I mean, that was amazing battle from both drivers right there.
Oh, yeah. Our next battle after this will be Ryan Kaufman and Harry Spencer.
Ooh.
Harry Spencer is with that
Your
purple.
your favorite purple car right there.
I like purple.
I like purple.
But it looks like we're seeing this battle here.
Oh, this is gonna be really
And then
interesting.
we're going to go to a commercial break after that. And we're going to get them situated.
Oh, you guys are really good at
Mic
this.
testing 1, 2, 3.
Hi there, Dustin. You scared me.
No, he didn't.
I forgot Dustin was down there with a
All
mic.
right, guys, we're gonna do some interviews here in the pits. I got Andrew Grindle here. How are you feeling after that big win?
I'm feeling pretty comfy, dude.
It's feeling pretty comfy, dude.
Comfy. No, the surface out here is so smooth, man. You can predict every corner like the last. It's nice.
You're looking like a machine out here. Excited to see you moving out of the top 8, and let's go ahead and see you get on that podium, buddy. All right, on to you guys, Tiny. Can't wait to hear what you guys see up there.
Oh, man. Here we go. Our final battle for the top 6 seed. Moving on to the grade 8. This winner will move on to battle Andrew Grindle, Ryan Kaufman versus Henry Spencer. Henry Spencer in the lead. Beast Coast drifting. Coming in with a nice initial.
Oh,
And my God. You see Ryan Kaufman match angle and get that proximity
yeah.
right in that reference point. Ryan Kaufman being on the beast as he is going through that
Now
final
that-
auto
yes.
zone. And my goodness, oh my God! Harry Spencer almost nails the tire wall.
That was so close.
Are we gonna call Ryan Kaufman the Beast Slayer? We'll see. I think
That was a solid run though. Like, yo, they were pretty in
Beautiful.
sync. Like,
the transition was fantastic, and then you're seeing the reference point. Harry's doing a great job with his car and getting it where it needs to be. And this is where Ryan Kaufman's like, I could trust you. But then right here, he almost hits the outer cone. Looks like 2 tires off. And Ryan Kaufman's like, okay, let me search forward in the pocket and keep on that line, and I'm just gonna stay with you as much as possible without damaging
it's always
my
that
car.
last corner, man, where it might be the biggest difference there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was hyped the whole entire time.
yeah.
I was trying to hold it in.
The great thing is, like, in New Jersey, you would have hit the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God there's no wall there that...
I mean, if you argue what a wall is. You know.
Yeah. There we go. We got Ryan Kaufman in the lead. Harry Spencer in the chase.
That's awesome.
Here we go. Final battle of our top 16. Ryan Kaufman, if he wins this battle, he'll be called the Beast Slayer. As he's coming out of that first outer zone, first outer zone, transition to outer zone 2, locks the angle, and now he has to dive into that inner reference point. And Harry Spencer is like, look at Ryan Kaufman headed out zone 3, transitioning to outer zone 4, using that left foot brake to slow himself down, getting right there in outer zone 4, into the final
He
inner
took off. Wow, that was beautiful. That was that.
Oh my God.
I love. Yeah, the
No.
judges says he has goosebumps. I mean, me too.
Look at this run here as he is going to outer zone 3, flirts with disaster, hits it, and then transition to outer zone 4. Beautiful transition, using that left foot brake to slow himself down, hits outer zone 4, fills it all the way out, diving into the final underclip, touching the 3rd line, still not fully deep in there, but my, oh my, Ryan Kaufman is an absolute gangster.
It was like he was on rails.
Yes,
You know,
that's
just
exactly.
going at it. I mean, he did go against Colette earlier.
Yeah.
And he had that one more time. So.
Yeah. And it looks like they have come to a decision. All right.
The anticipation.
And Ryan Kaufman gets the win.
Congratulations.
Ryan, you are now deemed the Beast Slayer.
I feel like you're the only one. He's like,
I'm going to call him the Beast Slayer everywhere I go. I don't care. What's up, Beast Slayer? It's nothing against Henry Spencer, but you have Beast Coast on the side. It's a fantastic crew. They're great. They're media people as well. It's fantastic. Cool people. But we're going to take a quick commercial break as we get everybody set up for grade 8.
This is where it gets really, really intense. Like, grab some popcorn. It's about to get real, real spicy out here.
Spicy.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Proven by me.
Formulated to win. Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
I mean, you know, everyone's got to go through it, right?
Yeah. It's,
Build character development, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But we just saw the first lap of the Sasha Prospero and Andrew Grindle battle.
Welcome back, everybody.
And welcome back. It went through, we saw someone
This isn't my
tail
normal job, okay, judges? Stop judging me. I don't care that it's your job profession to judge right now. I'm just trying to clean up the track.
Can I silently judge you?
Okay.
That's what happens when you talk to the guy with a microphone like that.
You did an outstanding job.
We're getting a big round of applause for Dustin Motors cleaning up the cone.
You know, you got to keep the track safe.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, even earlier, you guys weren't here, but practice, you know, anything could happen. You got to make sure the track is prepped.
Yep.
That's why thank you for the crew, right?
Yes.
Thank you for the staff working super hard, you know, coming out here and making sure all the drivers have that 100% potential right there of having a really clean lap.
Yeah, and we have Sasha Prospero in the lead, Tom Merman in the chase.
Hold on. Who did we say was?
Here we go. We got Sasha Ironsides Prospero coming in.
Oh, he's going. He's going. Oh, we got a bumper hanging out.
Merman losing his back bumper and still hanging on for dear life. As Sasha Prospero is transitioning to outer zone 4, lock into angle, and Tom Merman is keeping the nice proximity that he needs in the chase.
That bumper instantly just said, yo, let me go, please. But this is great. V8 versus V8. We got two chassis that are very competitive. Yes. I think this is like one of those things, like a lot of people like to have that V8 advantage or a 4-cylinder turbo advantage, whatever. But this is a great example when you have two very, very comparable cars right out here. And I mean, just like look at that. Like, I'm sorry, that fiberglass did not. I mean, it was holding together.
Yeah, it was holding together. It was waving to the spectators.
Oh, I did not see that. He hit the cones earlier.
Yeah, he hit the reference cone, so I don't think he was fully off track when he hit those cones. I think it was just the bumpers, just giving it a little caress, a little smooch. And
the finesse, right?
Yeah.
That's
that's what you need, finesse and hitting those lines. And I think the judges have come to this decision here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second lap here.
A lot of intellectual talking right now.
Yes.
You know.
And it looks like they have come to a decision here. Sasha Ironsides Prospero gets the win.
Congratulations.
He is moving on to the final 4. We have our next battle. John Temple versus Vincent
Oh,
Toledo.
the People's Mustang is
But
back.
it does look like Louis Lance and Nathaniel Jordan are going to be battling out here. My, oh my. You know what? This is going to be an interesting battle. One, I know Lewis can't keep up with the slower cars. I've seen him compete, and I've seen him at other events where he could tone himself back. So I don't think the horsepower is going to be a struggle for him. Now I want to see what the Nathaniel Jordan is going to do chasing his demo car. He's out here.
All right, I'm going to steal this from you, Tiny. I'm so sorry, but we
got
got
it.
Sasha. You call him Ironside.
Yep.
What's going on, buddy?
Hi, how are you, everybody?
All drift car drivers love interviews. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing, car, feeling good, and we're just on the beginning of the show.
Absolutely. You're coming through this bracket looking amazing. Can't wait to see you on that podium later on, buddy. Go kill it. Awesome. Back to you guys.
After that little awesome. You ever hear it? He's so polite with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's so funny because I talked to him at West Palm Beach, actually at Tampa. I'm like, I'm calling you Ironsides. And he started laughing, and we had he's very humble and very good conversation.
Just like you.
Yeah, you can say that. Here we go. We have Louis Lance. It looks like a reset. He hits the cone. He hit the cone on the chicane. So we're going to have to go back around. So the chicane is meant for the there's not a drag race going to the first outer zone.
Well, this is a perfect timing, too, to talk about, does this count as a run from your perspective here?
This should be a restart,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Unless there was something that the judges saw on my side. But if you hit a cone, like in Formula Drift, if you hit a cone, you have 3 strikes in your out. So it's going to be a restart. Yep, it looks like it is going to be a restart. And the chicane is meant for the lead driver not to make it a drag race, all right? And it makes it easier for the chase driver to keep up and roll, to do a nice jump start to get the close proximity right off the rip. Now, that was his first strike. And 2 years ago, we had Adam LZ almost get 3 strikes in Englishtown, which was entertaining and funny. But here we go. Louis Lance in the lead, coming in with a nice initiation to the first outer zone, then transitions to outer zone 2.
Wow.
Angle.
Wow.
And look at Nathaniel
Wow.
Jordan holding the proximity and keeping it alive, but he's getting smoked out by Louis Lance. Going into the fourth outer zone, Nathaniel Jordan is fighting the demons on the track as he cuts the track so he can get the proximity alive. But my, oh my.
Did you see that beginning right there?
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
I mean, let's be honest here. Obviously, with lower horsepower, you already know, you kind of predict, right? But I mean, he gave it all. Like, he running it in, snapped it, and he's doing his best. And he knows he's not going to have that low-end torque to power through that, right? But, I mean, like you said, we talked about earlier, that consistency, he doing his thing.
Yes.
He knows that he can't beat him on that long straight when, powering through it. He's doing where he knows to get those corners.
And taking advantage of the decel zones that are there. And that's what's a great job with Nathaniel Jordan, what he's doing right now.
But this is where it's going to be. I'm with you, brother. I am breathing.
Man, oh man. Nathaniel Jordan in the lead. Louis Lance in the chase. Nice initiation from Nathaniel. Louis falls back behind to give him room. And now he's going to dive into the pocket. He's going to use that horsepower when he needs it to be. I know Louis Lance is right there. Now Nathaniel Jordan does a great job transitioning to outer zone 4, misses outer zone 4, and Louis Lance is giving him room and trying to mirror the angle.
Wow.
So this is going to be possibly a close call for the judges.
Hey, you called it. He hold that. Like you said, horsepower is not going to be an issue, and I think it's just keeping the momentum.
Yes.
Do you have enough momentum to have the angle so you got to please the judges, please what you need to do, but also not lose so much momentum to the point where you stall out, strain out. And then, that transition right there?
Yes. Beautiful. But this is one thing we got to look at. Oh, I didn't notice that. So there is dotted lines at the end of the track.
Yeah.
And you're seeing Louis Lance. He's completing. He's chasing him. Nathaniel Jordan's doing a good job just staying in drift. You don't see as much smoke behind him because of the horsepower difference. But you're seeing him
You see a low right there.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke. But look at Louis Lance in the chase. You see Louis Lance. He is diving in. And he's trying to keep the proximity alive. But after this inner clip, Looks like he over rotates and then straightens out before the dotted line. So
Great observation, by the way.
big technicality right there that you have to look.
Everyone's favorite word, technicality.
Technicality. I have to say it multiple times before coming here because I do stumble on that word at times.
I mean, you did a good job so far.
I try.
I'll give you 3 strikes. You know?
I didn't hit a cone there, so that's good.
I'm honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen?
We're gonna. I think the judges are really gonna look at that.
No way.
And it looks like Nathaniel Jordan gets the win. And they're moving on. And I believe it's what I explained earlier. Yeah. Was it what I was explaining earlier? Yeah. He didn't complete the lap on the chase and left track. So
The People's Mustang. He's out there right now.
oh my goodness.
I don't know if your heart is racing, but
Man, oh man. You have Andrew Grindle and Ryan Kaufman. 2 absolute slayers out here.
Beast Slayers
The Slayer.
sounds like a Xbox 360 name. You know.
Oh yeah, there we go. We have Ryan Kaufman and Andrew Grindle. Andrew Grindle is in the lead. Finishing in the first out of zone does a great job.
That's what I'm talking about.
Getting all the way through to that inner reference line. Trying to get the proximity. Here's the transition
they're gonna
towards
do it.
outer zone 4. Oh, bumper to bumper transition. Doors, baby. As he is going all the way around and finishing it.
Wow.
Wow.
He was up there, man. Like he really, like right there. Wow. I mean,
Oh man.
I know they crossed the line a little bit, right?
You have Ryan Kaufman being fun and having a good time and just following the lead car everywhere he goes. And then just, I think this transition here, if Grindle had a bumper, that would be gone.
Oh, and that's the thing too. Like, arguably, like you know, drift cars. You know, you talk about like different chassis sizes. I mean, compared to RX-7 has like no bumper. You know, compared to the S chassis over there.
Yeah.
You know, so seeing this run is gonna be really, really interesting. You know, that proximity of where you're at with that chassis. I'm really excited.
Here's Ryan Kaufman now going to be in the lead.
Oh, he's on it. He's on it.
Going to that first out of zone. Lights off the tires.
Whoa!
Gives a room transition. Beautiful. As Ryan Kaufman hits the outer zone 2. Locked angle.
Let's go.
As Ryan Kaufman is hitting the angle he needs. Transition to that 4th outer zone. Here comes the surge from Andrew Grindle. Getting that proximity as well.
Did you see their wheels? Did you see those wheels? They're practically about to be touching.
Oh my God.
Should I get you some water?
Oh my God. I need water. I need a massage after that. Like it was
Sriracha.
Sriracha. Like maybe a tequila shot after that. But that was insane. That was a beautiful run from Ryan Kaufman in the lead. But the chase from Andrew Grindle was absolutely tenacious.
right here. I mean, oh wow, just wow. It's a good thing that that's the end of the course because he started too.
But now the judges, I think they have come to this decision, and they're going to look at lead versus lead, chase versus chase, and they're going to figure out who has the best lead. And Andrew was feisty in the chase. But this doesn't mean if they lose here, this doesn't mean that they're done for the day. This is a better spot for the bracket, the main event.
Exactly.
So,
you know.
It looks like Ryan Kaufman gets the win. The Beast Slayer moves on. It's gonna stay.
I love how he has like mismatched color wheels. You know, like he like.
It doesn't matter. He's a Beast Slayer. He can have any kind of
you look
color.
at the car. It doesn't even have a traditional livery. It's one-man crew. He's got a bunch of crazy cards though.
Oh yeah. And it looks like.
Oh look, it's at BMW.
Yes. Looks like Vincent Toledo.
What's in it? Do you know what's in it? It is. I don't know what's in that thing. That thing just sounds like a ripper.
I'm not too sure. That's something that he's one of the newer guys out here that I've seen in like Fuel Fest, and I haven't seen him often at US Drift Circuit. So I was trying to go into the pits. I always go to the pits in the beginning of the events to try to talk to all the drivers to get what they're feeling.
Asset for Sriracha. You know?
Yeah, Sriracha. Him out here doing what he's doing and being consistent as much as he can. He's getting the buy runs that he needs. He's in the show, so I think it's a good start of the season for him. And compared to last year, with FD having it so where they get points for every battle they win.
Yeah.
So if you're in a top 32 battle and you lose, you don't get any points.
No.
The previous years, you would get championship points if you're in top 32 or top 16, no matter what. But you have to be winning battles this year.
Which that makes sense, right? You know, you get points if you're actually doing it. Is this his second buy run now?
Yes, he was going against Temple, but Temple came out of it. But we have this and it looks like...
I mean, look. I mean, that's a great run we're seeing right now.
Yeah, he's just out there having fun.
Oh wow!
Lighting off tires, and then going into that fourth zone, locks the angle, smacks the bone.
You know what I really love is seeing a drift car when they're going almost full lock and they use that inertia and they snap. And if you have a really aggressive angle kit, you have the ability to recover from that, and it's just beautiful to watch. I mean, that was awesome.
It was. So the battle next after that for the final four would be Sasha Prospero and Vincent Toledo. John Temple did not make it a grid, but he is in the main event, so that's a great thing.
And that's another thing too. Sometimes stuff happens. Yeah. You know, and you know what? It's competition. You know, and that's what I love about all these drivers. Like they all know it's competition. And they have a very big respect for each other. And like you said, we're brothers and sisters here. We all understand survival is the biggest key.
Yeah.
And especially up here too. It's cooler now, but it was...
Oh, yeah, it was brutal earlier.
Oh.
It was brutal. I know I'm going to need some electrolytes after this and some water. After this event, I actually, after every round of US Drift Circuit, I tend to drive home afterwards. And I got a 2-hour drive, so it's gonna be fun.
Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's not too bad." Some people I do a 16-hour shift, unpaid.
Yeah.
I drive 5 hours back home.
The craziest one is there's a John Wyndham. He comes from, I believe, Alabama, and he usually competes here. He drives to Alabama, competes, shreds tires, and then drives home. And he's an absolute
beast slayer.
No. He's a sweetheart of a man.
Oh, really?
And his wife, I believe his wife is a spotter, but it's a...
that's so cute. That's so cute. Like, yo,
husband-wife.
Yeah, husband. That's the good old duo, and I think that's that Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
You guys get over here. I'm from the north, so we have a different type of hospitality. You know, depending on what weather it is.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, honestly though, like that's beautiful to see, but. I mean, good luck with that 2-drive home, though.
Yeah. It looks like I see Chris Jackson driving through.
Wonderful, Chris.
Everybody in the live can see the bunny ears.
The bunny ears?
Oh, what? Bunny?
Oh.
You want me to do it for you?
No.
So you can feel included.
No, someone's doing.
When was the last time? Like honestly, like when you have a time. I mean, honestly, like the weather is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh yeah. The golden hour's out. You know, everyone looks majestic. I mean, this is Instagram worthy.
Yes.
This is when you take pictures of your car.
Oh, exactly.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Redline oil, formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Proven by me.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
All right, we got our next.
All right,
battle here.
guys, we are back, and we're going to be coming back in. The reason that we have those little breaks right there is because these guys got to come off and get fuel, gas, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go into this next battle. They're already out of the burnout box. Let's throw it to Tiny.
There we go. We got Nathaniel Jordan and Ryan Kaufman. 2 Slayers out here.
Oh man, 2 Slayers, he said. Oh man, that's how you know this gonna be real special.
You got a Beast Slayer, and you have David from the David and Goliath story.
This is really, really awesome to see because these 2 performed in their league, and it's one of those things like this is what makes the top 8 so hyped to see.
Well, let's see if Nathaniel Jordan will be named Achilles and get Ryan Kaufman's Achilles heel.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, a little history.
I just watched Troy the other day.
You know what though? Like I genuinely can't wait to see 2 consistent drivers.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited to see the Mustang lead run. If I'm honest, that's always been the card player right there, the trump card right there.
Yes, and the thing is, you had Louis Lantz, which he's used to chasing lower horsepower cars. Now you have Ryan Kaufman, who is equivalent to chasing lower horsepower cars because of what he does with the Taxi Garage, one of the sponsors here for US Drift Circuit. But he just built that car for FD, for Prospect. He's getting it ready. This has been, I would say,
I can tell.
a great turnout for him because this is a great tool so he could kind of fine-tune his car, so when he goes to Road Atlanta for his first battles in the pro level, it's going to be awesome.
Using ProAM to make sure your car is set up.
Yeah, I was wondering a couple of times when some of these guys would drive here, but here we go. We got our battle going out here. Ryan Kaufman in the lead. Nathaniel Jordan in the chase. Going in with a nice situation.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Whoa!
Diving into the pocket of Ryan Kaufman as they're going in. Absolutely here. It's the cones from the inner reference point, transitioning to the outer zone 4. Ryan Kaufman all the way out. Looks like a possible tire drop.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Can we have an instant replay on that?
Yeah,
on the red line? On the red line right there? Like,
oh my God.
I actually saw that now through
So
the
unfortunately,
television.
there is no red line review on that. I don't know what's going on.
We saw that. We saw that. How did he do that? Did he like tune his car real quick?
I don't know.
He did a Vin Diesel move. Family.
Oh, I was thinking of he put propane into it.
Oh, yeah, like a coupon.
One of the judges said put Nas in his car. You got to propane.
In reverse,
tank.
you gotta make sure you're doing reverse.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that's the strongest gear. You know, in reverse. That's
the race gear.
That's the race gear. But now this is, I mean, everyone, get your eyes on this right here. This is gonna be the game changer right now.
Ryan Kaufman in the chase now. Nathaniel Jordan in the lead.
Is your heart racing or is it just me?
Oh my God. It's absolutely insanity.
This
is why I like the Pro-Am series because you never know what you're gonna get.
I mean,
it's like a box of chocolates.
Oh, I like a box of chocolate. Okay, did you know? Fun fact: dark chocolate's good for you.
Is it?
Fun fact.
I never knew that.
Don't fact check me though, but fun fact.
I'll make sure not to Google on our break.
Someone's Googling.
Oh, I think Dustin is Googling it right now. He's on his phone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Dustin, please don't.
We got Ryan Kaufman in the chase now. Nathaniel Jordan in the lead. And he hits outer zone 1, going into outer zone 2. Locks the angle, misses outer zone 2.
Wow.
Look at
Wow.
Ryan Kaufman, unfazed by the speed.
Door to door right here.
Being absolutely tenacious, and he's going to outer zone 4, and Nathaniel Jordan.
Oh my
able to
God!
dive into
Wow!
the slip, but look at Ryan Kaufman.
Wow!
Wow!
That was. I mean, did you see? I think they were tandeming for like 10 years right there. That was just.
They are out there just shredding. They've drifted together plenty of times throughout the series, but.
I mean, this is it, right?
Ryan Kaufman and Nathaniel Jordan. I think the judges have come to the decision. Ryan Kaufman gets the win.
Wow, the Beast Slayer has done it again with the mismatch headlights and hood. fenders, rear fender.
Yes.
But the People's Mustang, that was awesome. That's very motivating. I think that's super inspiring that he competed all the way. I mean, this is the same driver that he competed with Collect Davis earlier,
Yes.
right? And I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, I hope he's listening to this. He did a fantastic job representing the low horsepower people.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely a
He's
legend
coming over right
out
now.
there.
Tiny, that
Yeah.
control there. What I want to just mention real quick is he went in with a higher horsepower car against a lower horsepower car,
Yeah.
and you saw him do that transition and just sit.
Yep.
He came through and had his power, didn't bobble for it, didn't throttle in, but somehow had control to go through. Mustang deserves all the mountains of the world, though.
Hey, I would love to have a conversation with Nathaniel at the end of this, but we have Vincent Toledo and Sasha Prospero. I'm so in shock by what I just saw with Nathaniel Jordan's performance, but here we go. Vincent Toledo in the lead. Sasha Ironside Prospero.
Okay.
Angle transitioning.
Whoa! Oh! Oh!
As they get the proximity down.
Oh, door to door. Oh! Yeah. Oh, is he gonna do it?
Part of the track where he needs to.
Wow.
Actually, he hits the tire a little
Wow.
bit. But Sasha Prospero.
What is going on? The air is different right now. That was that is top 8 worthy right there.
Look at this initiation, matching the angle, transition, beautiful, and then almost over rotates, saves it. Sasha is touching his door. You literally see
I mean, just look at that control right there, you know?
beautiful. And then he's unfazed by the mistakes of the lead driver. Then he had to search forward in the pocket so he could keep up that proximity alive. But that was a great lead run from Vincent Toledo.
I mean, just look at that right there, and then
This is where-
snapped. And he was, I argue he was full luck at one point.
Yeah, the thing is that outer zone 2, where he kind of had to correct, when he had to correct, that's going to be a big deduction where the judge is going to look at.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have them switch sides.
Oh,
You're
this
gonna
is,
see
oh, you know their blood is pumping right now.
Sasha Prospero in the lead and Vincent Toledo in the chase.
Wow, that was, we're getting some really solid tandems.
Yes. And this is just seating bracket. Here we go. We're getting ready for the lights. I think the track staff has to clean up some things on the track.
Make
real
sure
quick.
safety is super part.
Yeah, especially on the track here. You had this tire wall getting tapped, but
I mean that's what they're there for, right? Better
Oh,
than
yeah.
concrete walls and smashing in your over fender that you paid too much money for.
Oh yeah, there we go. We have our our second lap of this battle. Sasha Prospero in the lead. This shooting on his own. Nice. And Vincent is falling behind with the proximity. Sasha Prospero is using that nice angle, getting into that leverage. He's diving into the final outer zone.
Oh wow.
Nice angle. And it looks like Vincent is struggling to keep the proximity compared to Sasha.
Wow, there's a lot to talk about right there.
Yes. Yes, there is. And
I mean, right away, seeing that initiation, it's completely different, you know, and obviously when you're in power, that you will catch up. But the thing is, it's like traffic. You know, when people start stopping and going, it creates a snake effect, and now you have to almost think 2 steps ahead now.
Yep.
And sometimes you or the machine just can't like.
he is absolutely like locked in, getting set up.
I mean, right? He should have transitioned a little bit sooner, you know.
That's where it comes into. Sasha is doing a great job in the lead, and right here he could have dived in, but I think the judges have come to a decision here. Vincent is on the left, Sasha is on the right. Sasha
Wow,
Prospero gets the
Sasha.
win. He's going to be battling Ryan Kaufman.
I mean, with that gold livery right there, he's the golden boy right now. But I mean, they had a really good fight though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that I mean, we're all hype up here.
Oh yeah, always hype. And it's funny because Vincent Toledo, he had so many buy runs, and this is, I believe, his first battle. of
Yeah,
today.
you're right. You're right.
So him fighting through that, great job by him.
I mean, you could argue he had 2 practice runs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about?
More seat time.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
said.
right. Yeah. But I think that, like I said, that was a super close you know.
Yeah. You have Sasha over there rolling up. He has to switch tires because he is going to be battling Ryan Kaufman. And I believe it's going to be Vincent Toledo versus Nathaniel Jordan.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to be a fun battle.
I mean, it's coming down to the wire where we're going to be starting to see some, like, more solid tandems.
The great thing is, it's going to be Sasha Prospero versus Ryan Kaufman.
Oh, my God.
Which they're two absolute legends. Oh, my goodness.
Bam! You're dead.
Okay.
Oh. So I always heard Florida's got some interesting critters around here.
Are you talking about Rad Dan? That's not nice.
You don't have wasps?
You know, our WAPs, they have vacation days. You know, they come out when it's a little bit warmer out. We have off-season bugs. You know, it's like.
So there's a funny story. Last year at Citrus County, where we were standing, there was like 2 wasp nests. I never met Rad Dan before, but after that day, I knew that's the dude. He's, like I said, he had flip-flops on, coming from Cali. I'm like, okay, they probably are maybe afraid of insects. No, this guy comes in with a Gatorade bottle, reaches up, and just swaddles it, and then it goes to the bottom of the Gatorade bottle, puts the cap on. He's like, I got the wasp nest. I'm like, are you serious, dude? We just got the spray for it.
People, actually, if you've seen online, people use gasoline. They use like bigger tubs, and they, you know, and then, but the funniest ones is when they accidentally drop everything.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know. Brake clean? Oh,
brake
yeah,
cleaner?
speak of brake cleaner.
That can brake cleaner's like $1.50.
Yeah.
Wax an entire nest, no problem. They just instantly die. Brake cleaner.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, really?
Wow. So
I mean,
we're figuring out new things. Brake cleaner is better than wasp spray.
I mean, also too, I just want to say, like, and I'm very grateful to be here, but I also not only just want to be here and share the spotlight with you and have a great time, I also want to give back to the drivers.
Yes.
You know, I'm really appreciative for CRC to be sending products, power lube, you know, knocker loose, parts cleaner, brake clean, everyone's favorite, you know, and hopefully everyone's using them. You know?
And it's great that we have our big title sponsor with Redline Synthetic Oil, which is not only for cars, it's also for motorcycles. And
fun fact.
Yeah.
It's a fun fact.
Yeah, it's awesome. I used to use it on my Harley, and it was great. When Chris Jackson told me about it, I was amped up. I was excited. So here we go. We have our third place battle here. Vincent Toledo and Nathaniel Jordan.
This is going to be awesome. This is going to be good.
Man, oh man. Versus Ford Mustang, American Muscle versus German Engineering. Here we go. Vincent Toledo in the lead. Coming in with a nice initiation.
Okay.
Going to the outer zone 2.
Whoa.
And Nathaniel Jordan is using that momentum. Oh, he falls off the track. Outer zone 3. And then transitioning to outer zone 4. With some left foot brake until he can get there, and then going into the final in their clip, Nathaniel Jordan. Oh man, it's unfortunate for him as the chase car falling out of the track right there. I think he took some cones again.
But I mean, did you see that? I mean, he's getting really comfortable.
Oh yeah.
And he knows that he's not gonna has the power to go to that corner right there.
Yes.
But he's like, if I could just get as close as I can, maybe I can make it up. But obviously, there was a little bit of overextension.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, you can see the effort. I mean, that Mustang's probably tired right now. It wants an oil change, new tires.
Well, if he needs an oil change, Redline Synthetic Oil will definitely do that job for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But here we have them switching sides. This is wild. This is absolutely
he's
bonkers.
Oh, I completely agree. And I mean, at the end of the day, he is like what, over 200 horsepower? I mean, my rental car has more horsepower than him.
Oh, jeez.
And it's a Nissan, all of them.
Oh man. Here we go. We got Nathaniel Jordan in the lead. And Vincent Toledo.
This is gonna be the run to
chase.
see.
This is the battle for third place of the seating bracket. Here we go. Lights are green. Nathaniel Jordan, Vincent Toledo.
He's going in.
Nathaniel Jordan with a nice initiation, nice little clutch kick.
Oh!
Gets over angled, but able to stay in drift. And he falls off
Wow.
course like Nathaniel Jordan. But he's keeping the great job getting out of zone 3. massaging up the angle from the chase car, and Nathaniel Jordan goes to outer zone 4 and hits it with his rear tire. But here's Vincent Toledo keeping the proximity towards the end of the track.
Did you see that though? Like, oh, did you see that? Like, I mean, he obviously, like, you know, we know when you have a slower car, and as the chase, you need to. I mean, right there, like, boom. He need to correct that, but it was already too late. And then he actually repeated what the Mustang did earlier. So obviously he was a little bit more consistent when it comes to it. But I mean, you can see, like, he's really making some corrections on the fly, and like we said, consistency is key here.
Yeah, and you see Nathaniel Jordan, I believe in the first run, I believe Vincent missed some zones. Compared to Nathaniel Jordan, able to hit each zone, at least touching it with one tire. He did miss a good portion outer zone 2, but now he is going into outer zone 3, which a lot of people are struggling. He's able to flirt with it and hit that rear tire in the deeper part of it. Now he's going to outer zone 4, locks that angle, and then dives into that final inner clip. A great job. He does a good job for it.
So they both in their chase runs went 4 off over here, and we were going.
And it looks like the judges have come to the decision. Oh my God.
We did one more time earlier. Yeah, one. We've done one. We've done one more. There is one more time in season.
One more time. I don't know if you guys heard it. I tried to hold it in earlier.
One more time.
But that is amazing. I mean, that is, huge applaud to both drivers. I mean, this is, like I said, another David versus Goliath battle here. I'm gonna lie, this Mustang is putting a lot of work.
Yeah, I think they're not even pitting. Oh, I hope. Oh man, if you do that, I will give you. Yes, do it.
Drone in the air.
Yep, no pit crew over here. They're full sending it today, baby. Let's go.
That is a huge applaud to both the drivers right here. I mean,
wow.
Second one more time.
Yep, second one more time of the day. We have Flydays out here. Drone.
Oh yeah, we need that drone. This is gonna be spicy.
And we do have a second drone pilot out here, Skyline Cinema.
Shout out.
Nathaniel Jordan is gonna be in the chase.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be interesting. So now I don't know. Now they know too, like how each driver kind of react. So now they're really locking in right now, and this is where you're gonna see a make or break right here.
Oh man, this Mustang has scars on it. You see the zip ties on the front
I love
bumper.
that. It's very grassroots.
Oh yeah, I love it. And now we have Vincent Toledo just getting ready. Our one more time battle for third place. It looks like Vincent Toledo comes in with a nice initiation, hits that first out of zone transition.
All right.
Nathaniel Jordan does a great job in diving in, but now he's going to try to massage the angle so he doesn't fall off track. Oh my goodness, Nathaniel almost. He looks like he straightens as Vincent is able to finish off this lap. Nathaniel Jordan almost smacked the wall on outer zone 3.
Oh, he want to get close to it, like.
Yeah, that's a little too close for me.
I mean, see right here, he's trying his best to do his thing, and I think he touched that line. I think right there,
And it looks like right here he kind of gets lost with the speed and where it comes into them just going back on track.
Yeah.
After doing 2 laps before, they're gonna have a lot less grip. So it's gonna be harder for him to chase down. I wonder if the lead car.
I mean, he did touch too. I just saw that. Yeah.
Yep, he did go off track a little bit, and then it kind of forced Nathaniel to go a little bit wider. But we're gonna see this second lap of this battle. Nathaniel Jordan is gonna be in the lead.
Oh, we got Chris doing a lap.
We were.
Oh, he's 4 off now.
There's some point deduction on Chris.
That's a 0.
He's going the opposite direction.
Chris Jackson out here doing a great job supporting the local drift scene. Also loves driving this car. He's actually the crew chief for Jeff Jones as well.
Yep. Yep.
And
I mean, that's a lot of work. And that's a lot of stress. You know, he looks good though. You know, no white hairs. And he looks great.
yeah. And here we go. We're getting ready. Chris Jackson goes off the track, getting ready.
This is gonna be it. I'm so excited.
Second lap of our one more time battle. Vincent Toledo
Here we go.
in the cheese. Nathaniel Jordan in the
going
lead.
in.
Coming in with a nice initiation. Vincent Toledo blocks the angle in the chase. And all of a sudden, Nathaniel Jordan is able to hit all of that outer zone 2 and hits that reference point. Outer zone 3. And using that left foot brake to keep that angle stabilized. And here comes Vincent Toledo. Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Y'all saw that, right? Oh. Oh. Wow. Wow.
Speechless.
Wow. I'm actually full of speech, actually. I mean, did you see that? I mean, going in, and if you guys know, this is kind of a very similar run that he had before, right? With the BMW, where he, like I said, he made had to make an overcorrection. And the Mustang is super consistent, you know? It's like, but then right there towards that, and then it's like a domino effect when you start kind of losing that a little bit, and then
you're gonna see Nathaniel is able to lock it to the line that he needs to, like he's been doing all day. He does go one tire off on outer zone 2, and then there's a lot of corrections from him in the lead, but he's able to keep in drift with that less horsepower car. Now we're gonna go. I want to look at outer zone 4, and when he's you see that huge correction, that could also force that chase driver to be wondering, is he going to straighten out? Am I going to slam into him? So that's something that the judges are going to also look at as well. But I think they have come to the decision here.
the people's champion!
Third place! Beautiful performance.
Look at him right now. Look at it. Oh, yeah.
Wait, he has a horn?
He has a horn. He's like, I am so happy right now.
I didn't know he had a horn in his car.
That's probably his daily, honestly.
That's funny. That's awesome. Most of these cars are gutted out. There is no horn.
It's like his radio's on right now.
He was listening to Miley Cyrus right before the run. It's okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, listen. You know, they say that music really gets you into tune as a driver, you know? Yeah. You know, they say if you listen to metal, you're more of an aggressive driver. So, you know, like...
Here we go. We got Ryan Kaufman versus Sasha Prospero. The battle for first and second place.
So this is it, like...
This is the battle to see who has the top seed in the bracket to go into the main event. We see Nathaniel Jordan riding down here.
I'm going to try to talk to the people's champion real quick. You want to turn the car off for a second? You got a second? You got the camera over here. You're going too far.
He's too excited. He's too excited.
No, this just matches his personality.
Hey, look, he's reversing.
You're not blocking the way at all, man. Holy cow, you just made that happen. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I am so ecstatic right now. I'm happy to be here, but to make it this far is just like an absolute dream come true.
I don't know if you know this. The crowd is making more noise than they would for Bonnie Blue right now. What are you feeling like?
Again, I can't thank everybody enough. I'm just, again, happy to be here. I can look back up getting as much support as I am. Like, this is just like an absolute dream come true, man. I cannot express how excited I am. This is absolutely awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, we're going to watch 1 and 2 right now, and congrats on 3, brother.
I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty emotional right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. All right. You wanted a Titans battle. There it is. This is the clash of Titans of the Florida drift scene. Sasha Ironsides Prospero versus Ryan the Beast Slayer Kaufman. Here he comes. Sasha Prospero coming in with a nice initiation. Through that first episode. All the way out. Ryan Kaufman is trying to get right to angle.
All right.
And getting that proximity a little bit.
Whoa!
Going to outer zone 3, transition to outer zone 4. Here comes the surge from Ryan Kaufman, a little far forward in the pocket, and he's going to use that intercept to match angle. But my goodness.
That is number 1 and number 2 in any
Wow.
Did you like? I like how they're super consistent with each other. And I mean, like, you could tell they don't make a lot of corrections.
No.
They stay, like you talked about earlier. They hold their gun. They go for it. I mean, right there, like that's just 2 Hot Wheels moving.
Yeah. It was insane. It looks like 2 slot cars going around the track at times, but you see Ryan Kaufman is a little bit far forward and off the line a little bit, cheating it so he could keep the proximity. If the spotter for Sasha tells him that, I know Sasha, he's going to put that tire on the door of Ryan Kaufman and get as aggressive as possible and try to mirror it and stay in that deep pocket the whole time. So we're going to see Ryan Kaufman in the lead, Sasha Prospero in the chase. The battle for first and second place of our seating bracket. Here we go. Ryan Kaufman coming out here with a nice
Whoa!
out of zone. And then here comes out of zone too.
Whoa!
Sasha Prospero getting in the close proximity that he needs, falling behind on the road.
Oh my goodness.
Power transitioning to the 4th outer zone.
Oh! Oh!
Oh no!
Did you see? There was so much going on right there. There was so much going on.
Wow!
I mean, they were coming in hot.
Oh yeah.
And look, right there, there's I mean, I mean, was there contact? I don't know. Like,
it wasn't enough. If there was contact, it wasn't enough to force a correction on the chase on the lead. But you see Sasha right there. That overcorrection right there is going to.
I mean, you saw the right here coming into. I mean, they were on it.
Yes.
But also right away, you could already tell that he's putting a lot of pressure. He's putting a lot of pressure, and there's now this sudden gap. So obviously, what he's trying to do, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to keep consistency here, and right here in the transition, he's gonna power through it. But then, as you can tell, Ryan kind of like right there, he slowed down a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna see if this microphone reaches.
Yes. And our man on the pits is gonna be the one to
he's running.
The winner.
Yeah, he's running right now.
Yes, he is.
He's getting his workout in.
He always is out here on the U.S. Drift Circuit.
All right, check. Is that good?
Yeah, I hear you there.
We see you too. Hey.
All right.
Out here all day. Oh, there it is. Now it's working.
Now it is.
Here we go. Hey, but they can hear me. Let's make some noise for all the competitors that competed today.
A little bit closer.
I'm working on it. For maybe.
You were good.
So, if you can hear me, let's make some noise for all the competitors. It's tiny.
All right. So, for the battle right here, right now, I have Dustin Motors out there. I want you to be Hunter today. This moment right here. And the Havana White, let's say, for drifting. Does that sound good, Dustin? Let me get a thumbs up right there. Yeah? All right. Dustin from Dustin Motors is going to tell me who wins this battle. We already know Nathaniel Jordan has got 3rd place. You have Sasha Prospero in the S15, and you have Ryan Kaufman in the RX-7. Ryan Kaufman gets the win!
The Beast Slayer
moves on as the top-seeded position. Beautiful performance from Ryan the Beast Slayer Kaufman.
Woo!
Absolutely legendary performance. He is the taxi garage guy out here.
A one-man show, did it all.
Dude, this dude has been working his tail off. He's absolutely a legend. I love watching this guy in the pits and on track. We're going to be going into a practice session after this. The main bracket, the main show, is where all the marbles are at. That's where you get the main championship points. That's going to be at 9:15 p.m., where you're going to see these absolute gangsters just shred tires, put up smoke into the ozone layer, and we can inhale the ethanol fuel that they perform out here with. So, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys at 9:15, and have a wonderful break.